Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pot Squatch Growers. Yes, just a moment here so I can attempt here to access the live stream so I can actually see what everyone's saying here. Just a moment. Bear with me. There we go. And we're almost there. Oh, we gotta mute. Turn off that sound so you don't have to hear my stupid ass. What's up, Adam Squatch? What's happening, Hemp Slayer? How you doing, my friend? What's up, Mike the Safer Ride Squatch? How you doing, my friend? What's up, Kurt Van the Winter? What's up, Brandon McElverter? What's up, Casey Den? What's up, Reach 420? What's up, Greg Manley? How you doing, my friend? Everyone doing well today? 1 second here. Live chat. Perfect. That was tripping me out because all these people are talking. It was saying there's one person in the live stream. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. What the hell's happening? How's everybody doing? What's up, Heckler420? What's up, New Grower 420? Hashtag boom back to you. What's up, Toler's Fire? I'm just chilling, having another nice day there, working on things. Had a few, different business calls that we had to make earlier today, and I figured, hey, why not bring everyone a Wednesday night or Wednesday day live stream? So I've been toying around with the schedules going forward into the new year. So one of my big thoughts is we'll do lives on Saturday and Sunday night, and then we'll do a midweek live schedule as long as it allows. Sometimes things come up in my schedule on Wednesdays there. Hell yeah, Preach 420. What's up, Mark Lavender? You're on a live stream finally. I've missed you, buddy. It's good to see you. Everyone, you may remember Mark Lavender from before as Lone Stoner. What's up, Morris Petula? Happy New Year as well to yourself, my friend. What's up, Lobster Boy? By the way, Lobster Boy, love the picture of your dad in the Pot Squatch Growers Army hat with the ukulele. That was fucking rad. Hello, Kim Siri. Welcome to the show. Everyone, Kim Siri's a local friend of mine out here. She's a brilliant actress, a brilliant writer, and a brilliant director. And a very wonderful woman to boot. So yes, a very close friend of mine, so welcome to the show, Kim Siri. Welcome to the show. I'm trying to organize myself. I've got the phone here that I use to read all of your messages plugged into a external digital power device here, which is, I'm trying not to drop, because I've got a short cord on with. Short lease. Tanz 1000, speak German. Was ist los, mein Bruder? Bist du von Deutschland? Ich bin nicht Deutsch, aber ich bin kanadisch und ich verlieben in Bayern vor 2 Jahren und 6 Monaten. In Ingolstadt und dann in Augsburg in the Oberhausen district. It was an interesting time living in that city, I'll tell you. What's up, William Pritchard? Oh man, it's rainy and gray here, probably about 6 or 7 degrees. I was standing outside, not even wearing a shirt, when I took the dogs out to go pee before the live stream. So it is not cold here in BC like it is in the rest of the Canadas. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Dwayne Bradley? How you doing? What's up, Marcus Ireland? How's it going, man? I don't really speak much Spanish. I mean, I could say maybe, I don't even remember now. Yo hablo un poquito de español, and I think that's about it. ¿Dónde es la biblioteca? ¿Dónde es el baño? And I think that's about all the Spanish I have in my brain now after high school. I just tried to find a way to survive that class. As everyone can see there, Mike, the Safer Ride Squatch, has shared the link that if you would like to grab your very own Squatch lighting system, the most affordable professional grade LED tech on the market, well, that's the link you're going to go to there. And at the end of the day, remember, when ordering your light, if you are from a foreign country, just give us the heads up on that one. I mean, we'll sort of, we'll see where we're shipping it to. So we should be able to know. But just for safety's sake, always make sure that you let us know what country you're ordering from so we can make sure that we wire the appropriate plug onto the driver for you. Yes, yes, yes. What's up, Visible Farms, Pilgor? Hey, Pilgor, I got a question, bud. Is your Bubba Kush fairly sensitive to nitrogen? Because, my God, I think she is. She's been a little finicky, not in a bad way. She's great genetic, really happy with how they're growing out overall. But I got a little hooking today, and because I burned them earlier last week, and so I left them alone all week. So I tried to give them a little bit of Zemediwan, you know. And I only did a teaspoon, which was not that heavy. But combining that with a bit of Jake's, and I've got some hooking today. Have you experienced that genetic to be a little sensitive to nitrogen? Because I'm finding it that way myself. And cheers back at you, you sexy stoner, my friend. What's up, Eddie Kelly? How's Orlando doing? Is it hot down there? What's up, Family Outcast? What's up, Andrew Buck? What's up, Kyle Paris? Hey, no worries, Kyle Paris. What do you do for work? Where are you hailing from in terms of your workplace today? Well, Kurt Van Winter, in terms of your plant, now, is the yellowing happening on all of the leaves, or is it starting at the bottom, starting at the top, starting in the middle? Is it starting on the tips of your leaves? Is it the whole leaf? Is it starting in the center kind of spine of each of the serrated blades of the leaf? Little bit more information. Maybe send me some pictures too. That might help, you know. I mean, it very well pre 420 could be some CalMag requirements. But again, at the end of the day, a lot of things can exhibit that way with subtle variations and not be CalMag. A lot of people think CalMag is always the go-to for that. And often it is. But it doesn't mean it is the answer all the time. You got to be careful as well, too. You don't want to go over the top there. Because sometimes you can have very similar nutrient deficiencies exhibiting within the plant that are, in fact, secondary nutrient or minerals that are being required within the plant, for example. So, yeah, I've got some purple stems. Not too much at the moment. I think the purple stems will settle in more on the Bubba Kush as they grow. Everything I'm growing right now has purple stems predominantly. Yeah, the Bubba Cherry Firefly, at least on two. Little bit on the Mutant Franken plant. The Mutant Franken plant, I won't lie to you, is really growing on me. It's a weird fucking plant. But I am curious to see what it does. I'm not going to kill it. I want to see. And even that stupid, weird little purple kush is starting to kind of grow. So it could be root locked as well. It could be a number of things. Without seeing some more specifics or hearing some more specifics about it, it's a little bit harder for me to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Nice one, Mount Trips. I love it. Nice one. AutoZone. So would that be a place where I come to buy car parts then, Kyle Parrish? I would assume so. That'd be my gift anyway. What's up, Juan Izquierdo? What's crack-lacking, my friend? Your humidifier hasn't what? Ham Slayer. Ben Luzano. Any reliable seed bank suggestions that will ship to Canada? GYO is always a really good thing back in the day. I mean, I've never really ordered a lot from seed banks, but GYO was a good, decent seed bank. Not bad. I think now they're not really carrying other breeder stuff. They're predominantly, I think, to my knowledge, only selling their own genetics now, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I haven't tried any of the new genetic lines that they're just putting forward, but they had a very good reputation in the hood days. So, you know, that's a good guess there, I would say, probably. What's up, Green Moose? That's right, everybody. The link that Mike, Saber Red Squatch, has just shared there is the link to the Facebook group. Just to reiterate again, I know we're all humans all the time. Sometimes we get worked up and we get pissy or mad at each other. Let's just reiterate again the importance of both on the Facebook community, on the YouTube, anywhere we all congregate and speak to each other. We don't have to like each other, everybody, but treating each other with respect is very important in my humble 2 cents. So at the end of the day, please remember that, and let's try to not, you know, it's all right to be mad at each other. So either talk to each other in private, let's not do it in public comments, okay? Or best decision is if you're having an issue with someone in the community, please contact me, contact Mike, contact any of the other admins or mods in the Facebook group or anywhere else, and we will do our best to help mitigate that scenario. We'll leave it like that, and I'm good. That's the only thing I really had to say about that one, you know what I'm saying? Jason, we will accept your application after the show unless one of the mods are on right now and they're able to do it. All right. I am known by him. That's a funny name. I like it. Oh, 1 second here. I'm just playing catch up, everybody. What is my favorite indica? I don't necessarily have a favorite indica. I have a lot of ones. Anything in the Kush family. So anything in the Kush family definitely would be probably my favorite. If I had to pick one part of the kind of Kush or the indica world, I'd probably go with the Kush world. I'm addicted to Kushes. Anything cushy, I'm a happy boy. Michael Summers, am I mad? No, I'm not. Well, maybe mad in the head, maybe, not emotionally speaking. Are you mad? Are you all right, Michael? Hey, what's up, Gorilla? Let's try that again. Grow Gorilla. There we go. Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. What's up, Too Drunk, Too Sappy? Yes, too drunk, too sloppy it is, and also too, all the regulations and all of the crap that Healthcare Canada is going to put you through will not be able and do not be conducive to you making a quality product. The whole system in Bill C-45, in my humble 2 cents, is flawed. That's why we're working against it and playing our cards right. We're all going to be quietly and patient, and we're going to watch all of these companies go into bankruptcy and fail. And the government will eventually realize they're way over their head. And if they have any hope of a healthy market, they're going to need to create an inclusive, fair, open market that doesn't breach our Constitution on at least 6 points. Oh yes, good point. Thank you for adding that, Mike. We have now added onto the Facebook group a few security questions. Please answer them. If you do not answer the questions, as much as we'd love to have you there, I can't say yes, and neither can the admins or mods. So please remember to answer your questions, please. Okay, nice. Got the Bubble Island OTG supposed to hit 31%. Very nice, Chuck Williams. The one thing I'm going to touch again on THC here is we all got to remember, high THC isn't like the road to super potent marijuana. High THC is an important variable, but there's over 468 psychoactive cannabinoids and chemicals in cannabis, all of which play a part in terms of the weed titty. So, for example, my Sasquatch strain only hits about 16 to 18% THC, but it hits 22% CBD. And it's also got a lot of CBN and other things in it. And that shit hits harder than any 30-something strain I've personally ever tried. And a lot of my friends who got to try it sort of felt the same way. So remember, it's not just about high THC when it comes to marijuana, my friends. What's up, Frugal 420? Excuse me. What's up, DB? Nice. What are you smoking on? Or is that the name of the strain? Fresh Harvest. And that was at DB there. At the end of the day, sometimes we all may get in arguments in the community. That's allowed, but it's about how we carry ourselves. And I'm going to ask, rather than swearing at each other, getting violent with each other, if you can't mitigate it yourselves, that's not okay. That's okay. Don't feel bad about that, Freudian slip. So just include me or any of the other admins or mods, okay? We are all adults, and we will be okay. And that also is a reminder that if anyone who's watching is under 18, please leave. It's not that we hate you, it's just that this is not a place for kids. And also, YouTube is getting very strict with these things, and there may very well be a huge culling of YouTubes coming up from the growth part of YouTube. So, given that, let's just do our best to be respectful, okay, in terms of the YouTube regulations as well. Matt Hall, the only true way is to chemically test your cannabis. You can have a rough idea by smoking it, but the only real way to know how much THC is in your cannabis is to have it chemically tested. Some places it's fairly affordable. A lot of places lab testing is extremely expensive. There are do-it-yourself at home kits, less accurate, kind of oddly like a pH test where you're matching, like the old school pH test where you're matching colors and stuff. Will not give you a perfect read, but it will give you a rough idea. I'm assuming they still make those. I haven't seen one in years, but they used to exist. Well, Green Moose, that's kind of my idea of how legalization, for example, should have been done in terms of people holding, for example, an ACMPR medical license. An ACMPR medical license is meant for you to be able to grow for yourself or to help grow for other medical patients. However, if you had extra harvest, let's say, from what your medical requirements would be, I believe that the government should set up a basic testing body, right? So you go in, you present your crop that you would like to market, they will test it. It either makes the grade or it doesn't. Then you get a report on it, you get stickers to slap on it, and then you should have the legal right to go and sell that. Obviously, you know, we're going to have to do a little bit more in terms of you're going to have to set up a basic storefront, whether it's online or this or that. You're going to have to be charging provincial tax and federal tax. Currently, right now, the way they're taxing it is way too high. Hopefully, they'll eventually pull their heads out of their asses in that regard. But I believe that every medical grower should have the right to share their excess harvest crop as long as it passed regulated testing. But that doesn't exist in Canada because I think it's too good of an idea, and the government is stupid. They don't know what they're doing, and they have very little idea in terms of how to run anything, it seems. But what are you going to do? Very interesting TV. Warren Brown, have I ever tried them testers from Walmart? I don't know what you mean, my friend. What's a tester from Walmart? Oh, you know, Marcus Arnold, something to be said about a good cheese. I'm not a big sativa man myself, but there's something beautiful to be said about the strong coiffure and newness of the cheese, they do. Sorry everybody, it's playing catch up now. No, John Dauber, no, it doesn't work like that. Predominantly, a fully matured bud on any part of the plant is going to have roughly the same amount of THC. Another great trick when you're harvesting, cut it at the main stalk and hang the whole plant. Those the branches and the stalks of the plants are filled with cannabinoids, and when you hang the whole plant, not only are you slowing the rate at which you dry, which is a good thing, it's going to allow all those excess cannabinoids to then go down into your weed titties via, you know, gravity. Alexander Laponte, take a look at T-check. Thinking of getting one. Not sure what that is. I'll have to take a look after the fact. What's up, Jake? How you doing, my friend? You doing well, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Ah. Oh, great. Oh. Oh, I see Hemp Slayer. Now I'm understanding why everyone was talking about Walmart, and I was confused. I'm like, what the hell are we talking about right now? I'm confused. Hell yeah, Jake. I mean, our girls are doing really well. A lot of our secondary growths from the initial topping are going very well now. Probably going to be dropping my lights in the next day or so. Haven't gotten around to doing that yet because I'm trying to get it to stretch out a little bit. I also want those bottom shoots that I will be cleaning out when I lollipop early on the next topping to be a little bit more developed. Excuse me. So we can clone them. Now remember, from unfeminized seeds that are in fact unsexed yet, remember when taking clones just to watch very carefully as they begin to root and take development. Jeff Noonan, happy to. Could you please either post a pic, Jeff, to the Pod Squatch Growers community? And that's also a great place. Sometimes I am quite busy and I may miss emails or not be able to kind of check everything all the time. So that's where the Facebook community is a really great place for you to be able to stand together and everyone communicate and help each other with problems as well. So that would be one thing. But if you send me some pictures there, Jeff, I'm happy to give you my humble 2 cents, my friend. What's up, Dazima? Now what are you doing, my friend? What's up, Jason Ward? Jason Ward, I don't know if we're going to be doing any more rosin pressing videos on the YouTube because they keep targeting rosin press videos or anything making extracts and hitting us with community warnings. So I will release new pressing videos, but we will not be releasing them on YouTube. At minimum, I'll at least for now put them on the WeedTube. I am still trying to figure out what we're going to do going forward. I am actually toying around with the idea of starting my own streaming platform for everyone to then come. It will take some money. I will have to purchase a number of servers and get that all set up and get some of my programmer friends to try to help me develop that. But that is something we are working on currently as one of the potential things moving forward in 2020 here at Pot Squatch Growers. Because the WeedTube itself, great that it's there. It's not a perfect platform. There is no live streaming for one. I hate that. So not a fan. Two, on the WeedTube, it is almost impossible to upload your thing. You try to upload a video from your phone, the second you close the window, it will freeze, it will stop uploading. The second your phone turns off, it will stop uploading. I predominantly upload things with my phones. So that I find very frustrating, and another reason why I'm against using it currently and contemplating starting our own thing. I'm playing around with, the Squatch Boob Tube or something like that. And so the fact that it's forcing me to use a computer to try to upload things frustrates me. I have been reaching out again to the WeedTube, but they're not getting back to me. So, we may just go fucking make our own, to be honest with you, for all of you. One second here, everybody. I'm just playing catch up now. What's up, me native? How you doing, my friend? Fuck yeah, it is, Nicole. And I love lasagna, by the way. So send me some. I know you can't, but I wish you could. I love lasagna. I miss that. Duffy, man, my plants are knocking the boots right now. Are you making beans? Oh, I know Big Mac crates. Well, one of the things also, too, I've been working on a bunch of designs for sort of the concept of a breeder unit. Or a pollen collection unit that is completely hermetically sealed, with filtration on all of the exhaust and intake. And basically the premise of how that's going to work in my mind is you can actually run the thing in your grow room and breed next to your normal plants. And it's designed so that when you are breeding inside of this controlled breeding unit, you can run it in your room. One of the things I'm actually toying with in terms of the design is building a residual power bank into the thing, putting a basic solar panel on top so that you can actually run it on the side edges of your room. Fucking still battling a few fungus gnats, as you can tell. They're still pissing me off. But long story short, then this basic solar panel will be able to actually utilize the wasted edge light on the edges of your room and kind of build up sort of some of the operating power in there. Whether that is going to be a backup power supply feed or, well, yeah, that's basically the only purpose that would have. So, you know what I'm saying. But but you could also then, I'm toying with a similar design where you could actually toy with it in such a way where you just put a male in there and then it would have a controlled secondary port where it would suck everything out and run it through a filter to collect the pollen, and then you'd actually pull out a canister from that filtration section. So that's another thing I'm working on some designs for right now, and it should be good. Jake Yakubuski, I have my next clones going and just fetching them out to start it all over again. Nice, Jake. Yeah, we are actually trying to get ourselves into a place where we are having both mother plants at all times, taking our clones, keeping it perpetual, rotating different staggered grows even through the space as well. Right, Keith and Chief? Well, did the deer die? Did you at least get some dinner out of it? Or was it completely schmucked? Hey, no worries, Jeff Noonan. Not a problem, my friend. Yes, it does. But also, Morris Petula, you got to remember that tetrahydrocannabinol in and of itself is a smooth muscle fiber relaxant in general. All cannabis helps chronic asthmas and other things for many people. Because basically the bronchioles of the lungs are predominantly made up of smooth muscle fibers. So when that THC and other cannabinoids that do interact with those smooth muscle fibers come in there, it just causes the bronchiole in and of itself to then dilate via relaxation. So pretty much any weed will have beneficial effects. Obviously, I'm sure some strains would vastly be superior. I'm sure that some strains will do it where it will not do it for the other. But hashtag boom. I did see that, Nicole Lenman. I have been very busy over the last couple of days about trying to get to everything, so I haven't opened the email yet to look into it, but I will be doing that the next day or two. And thank you for doing that, Nicole. I really appreciate that very much. One second here. Now I'm playing. Yo! What's up, Blind Cultivator? Everyone else free the Blind Cultivator is in the show today. I don't even know if he's ever been in one of our live stream shows. We have become friends. He's down in Texas, very close to Texas Pete, oddly enough. It was weird. But yeah, welcome to the show, buddy. Welcome to the show. Why is my phone being... Oh, there we go. It's just being stupid. One second here, buddy. I'm playing catch up again now. Thank you, Kurt Van Winter. I appreciate it. I will take a look for you very soon. Jake, Yokobuski, you gotta remember, you're eventually gonna have genetic degradation. So taking a clone of a clone of a clone is not an actual advised process. Sometimes it will take 1,000 generations of doing that before you have genetic degradation. Or it could set in after 3. So I would strongly advise, if you have the space or can swing the space, get into the habit of keeping mother plants. You don't need to keep them huge. You can prune them back all the time. But that is the best recommendation for you, in my humble 2 cents. Damn it! Keith and Chief, there goes our dinner! No, well, I'm glad it's not dead at the end of the day. I'm glad it got away. Hopefully it's okay. I just really like venison, that's all. What's up, Happy New Growth? How you doing, my friend? Well, Michael Summers, you got to remember, per gram on an ACMPR license is 5 plants. So if you have a 5 gram a day license, that will be a 25 plant license. I have a 49 plant license, which is a 10 gram daily prescription of cannabis. So it goes roughly a gram to a plant, and they do start to scale it down as you go up. So for example, you'd think, oh, it would be 50 for 10. No, they gave me 49. Shucks. But yes, that's how it works, my friend. I hope that helps. So at 38 grams per week, that's 7, 14, 21, 28. We're up to 4. So it's going to be roughly a 5 gram prescription daily then for that. What's up, Canadian Grower 420? Good day to you, my fellow Canuck. How are you doing? It's not snowing here at all. It's about 6 or 7 degrees and just pissing and raining a lot. I mean, at least I don't have to shovel. But, I mean, I'm getting sick of the rain all the time. And I normally like the rain. I thought it was the first time, Blind Cultivator. Well, welcome to the show, everyone. Blind Cultivator, do you mind if I share a bit of your story with everyone, just so everyone can know who you are? Welcome to the show, my friend Rodney Lapine. Welcome, welcome. What's up, Frugal 420? 1 second here now. Now I'm falling behind again. Man, it's like I'm out of practice. I fall behind so quickly. Started for clones, first time doing it. Any tips? Patience. Patience is the number 1 thing. Basic reading. Don't do a drastic change on it unless you know what you're doing. But patience, love, and learning. And the true growers are forever student. Even very advanced growers been doing it 40 years fuck up sometimes. I burnt my plants a week and a half ago because I got a little overzealous and I was a little stoned and I was getting excited with it. And I was like, well, I'll give me a little bit of these, a little bit of these, and a little bit of that. And then I burnt the bitches because I'm a dumbass. But it happens to the best of us. So don't feel bad if you make a mistake. That's where we learn from. Nice one, DV. Good. Are you running like a lot of indica genetics that are kind of typical, like kind of short 8-week window flower ones, or? What's up, Cheaping It Outdoors? What's up from my garden in Michigan? Love your videos, man. Always helpful. Hey, thank you very much. Much love back to you. And say hello to Michigan from Uncle Pot Squatch. Okay, so Jake, that's cool then. I mean, if that's your style, my friend, totally copacetic, man. Yeah, I just like mother plants, man, and I like keeping mothers alive for a long time, having genetic options but that are consistent and I know what they're going to do, and getting to know a genetic for a few runs is always fun because that's when you could really start to fuck around with them. Ooh. Hard to know, too drunk, too sloppy. I don't trust a lot of breeders out there in general. So you can probably just find that by Googling it and start searching through seed banks. Whether it's going to be legit or not, that's a gamble, usually, my friend. Yes, you've got to scrape. There is no question about it. You've got to scrape the bottom inch, inch and a half of your cuttings for them to take root properly. It's a quintessential technique that is required. Also, trim the tips of your leaves when taking cuttings. This is going to trigger the plant to go, oh no, my fan leaves is fucked up. I need to do growth, but I don't have any roots. So that new growth and that growth hormone in the living tissues of that cutting is what is causing the plant to go, I gotta grow some roots, I gotta grow my roots. Because without the roots, it can't have a new growth, you know what I'm saying? So that's called manipulating plant psychology. Or that's how I like to put it anyway. What's up, Bird Squatch, baby? Yeah, I saw the other day you were on the verge of flipping, looking sexy. What were those ones that I saw in the picture in the group there? I don't know if it was on our group or if it was the Oklahoma medical growers group that you invited me to, but it looked nice, so bud. Are they feeling good? Hell yeah, William Pritchard. I want some elk meat. Probably one of the best things is like bear pepperoni in general, but grizzly bear pepperoni is the best thing I've ever eaten in terms of pepperoni. But I'm a huge fan in general of bear meat, but bear pepperonis, hard to find. Very few people, one, make it, two, know how to do it well, so it gets even harder. Even if you find someone who does it, they may not be any good at it. But a good bear pepperoni, bro, is one of my favorite things in the world. It makes my Canadian heart dance with joy more than beavers or maple syrup. Just being a ninja. What's up, Hard Rock Pop, baby? Freaky boy, I smoke a gram a day. Laugh my ass off. Well, hey, Freaky boy, if it works for you and that's why you're all happy, that's perfect. Tazima, I'm too drunk, got mine from Lumberjack. Rodney Lapine, we have the same grow license, Josh. I can't even come close to my max at this place. No, right, Rodney? I mean, I can definitely not get, I won't get as close in terms of like if I were to do a run with everything going, but I'm trying to get it to where I got 20, 25 in here going. Because we normally have 14 to 16 in this main area. I think I could do at least another 8 in that back part behind that kind of the hanging plastic, if you all remember from the videos back there. But then I am going to be doing a lot of clones at all times to fill that over. So between mother plants, running clones for the next run, try to stay on top of perpetual grow with like 20 to 25 plants going in terms of veg in here or flowering in here. I'll get bloody close. I mean, as long as I find some nice phenos to keep for mother plants, that's assuming, but... Maple beavers. I've got a very dirty joke, I'm not going to make it tough. Super healthy, I've got a thing, pineapple thigh and gelato. Yeah, I remember the pineapple thigh, you telling me about that one. Gelato OG will be, I'm curious about that one. I'm curious to see how that one goes. Nice. Were you running old timers? You just had to get some new timers in there? I think my timers are doing okay. But I think one of the timers, because I've got 3 that I'm normally running in here, and they're all the same. I think 2 are perfect, and I think one's starting to lag in terms of its mechanical timing capability. I think it's just behind a smidge. So it's not quite staying on time. So every week I got to come in, and then I've got to reset that timer, or else it gets even out of whack, and out of whack, and out of whack. And it's like, ah, goddamn. So that's why daily gardening is a quintessential lesson, my friends, to keep up on, as a good habit as a pot grower. Get up in there and take a look at that. Oh, I know, Nicole. When I was a kid, I loved maple syrup. I loved maple sugar candy as a young child. It's one of my favorite fucking things in the world. Just take a little nibble and it was like heaven. Ganja Nana, your mama now. Thank you for the love, but keep the violence to yourself. I know you mean it with love, but no smashing of the faces unless you want to smash them with kisses. Then you can smash their faces with kisses. Then Ganja Nana, your mama. Welcome to the show, by the way. Yo, what's up, Rafael Gonzalez? Having pH problems, my soil runoff is, and they're in the 3rd week of flower. How can I raise pH? Thanks. Rafael Gonzalez, what is your current runoff, if you don't mind me asking? What's it coming out as? And also, how is it fluctuating between your feeds and your waterings? Important question for me there. If you can get me that, I can probably help a little bit better. The timers are supposed to tick. Well, there'll be a subtle kind of little mechanical clicking sound inside of it, and it will click. Typically a little bit on transition from on and off if it's a mechanical old wheel pin timer, which is typically what I like to use. I find them more reliable. The thing is, you just got to stay on top of those timers because sometimes they begin to crap out on you. What's up, Big Tree Farms? How you doing, my friend? What's up, Zeke Roderick? What's up, Dank Doof Growing Adventures? Can you elaborate more on your club soda trick, kind sir? Yes, one. It's adding on a little bit of extra carbon out in there into the release into the root system, so that's good for increasing your density. So it's increasing your density usually 5 to 15%. Probably the best cost-effective way around using the club soda trick or the soda water trick is to get one of those Jetstream soda water maker thingies. About $120 in Canada, I guess at like a London Drugs usually I see them for. Probably find it online cheaper. But then that's a real cost-effective way for you to do it rather than going to the grocery store and buying 24 bottles of club soda like I usually do. And then you look a little weird. They're like having a party. I'm like, nope, for my weed titty plants. And then sometimes they're like, oh, cool, man. Sometimes they're like, you devil. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's 2020. Get used to it. I mean, at the time with these stories, it would have been 2019, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, sorry everybody. I am jumping ahead of a few of the comments because I am falling behind again. I'm out of practice. No, Grow Prodigy, I mean, you gotta remember with the small nubile growth cut, it will take to root easier. But think about little baby weed titty plants, right? When you're starting out a seedling, it takes a lot longer for it to start to develop. Where if you've got a older cutting, it is harder usually to get to root, but if you do get it to root, then it's going to be vastly more set up to be aggressive, to be utilizing cellular respiration, aka photosynthesis, to be producing energies, and then have more general plant tissue to itself, to then be like, yeah, make some nice big roots, baby. You just got to remember though, when taking older or bigger branches, it gets harder to clone these. If you take a cutting and find the stem is hollow, I wouldn't use it. Because if you get some serious air bubbles up in there, it'll never really take. Oh, peace back at you, David Fordice. Welcome to the show. I didn't see you there, but welcome, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Wait, did I miss a message? Sorry, David. Sometimes I do that. I'm just trying to play catch up here. No, I don't think so. Well, have a beautiful day, David Fordice. What's up, Chuck Williams? Any tips for slowing the growth in mother plants? Well, Chuck Williams, reduce your light. Less light, less growth would be the number one trick on that one, I would say. Don't keep your mother plants in giant ponds. If you keep it into like a kind of a 1 to 3 gallon pot, in my mind, is usually ideal. You're going to need to trim the root ball typically every 12 to 16 months doing that. But yeah, reduce the lights, pull the lights away would be a better way to go on that one, in my opinion. It's going well, Bean Boy. How you doing, my friend? Cheers back at you, Fade Man. Unless you're talking to someone else, then I apologize. Eli R.S. Jimenez Guzman, long time no see, Pot Squatch. What room are you in today? I'm in the lab right now, just hanging out. Got the light, a few little things going in here right now, so it's just nice hanging out in here sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I do enjoy it in this room, so. Especially when I enjoy it when there's things growing. Better statement. Hey! Oh, too drunk, too sloppy, club soda. I would even start using it kind of the first week or two. Hit your plants 1 to 2 times a week with that throughout the entire flower. As long as it's a low sodium thing, you can even use it during your first week of flush. I wouldn't use it in the final week of your flush, though. LM, last few weeks, no. 48 hours darkness, yes.
I run ACs to drop the temperatures in my rooms. So because all for the last couple of weeks, throwing that much ice in there, you're not going to be able to control that moisture variation as much unless you got some good dehumidifiers. But again, they're going to throw off heat, which is then going to bring up the ambient air temperature around your plants. So you're only really chilling the root systems partially. So if you can, if you have one, if you don't mind having a, the power consumption for it, ACs work better in my humble 2 cents. Low temps will definitely slow growth, but in flower, I crank on low temps at night, especially starting at about week 1 or 2. I go with the 21 to 23 degrees Celsius, lights on, sometimes a little higher for certain strains. They just seem to like it. And then cold temps at night, which is also very good at, that is another great trick to make your buds denser as you're growing them out. You know what I'm saying? Well, William Edwards, that's badass. Simply put. Good job. I'm really proud of you. That's a crazy great number. Shay Ganja. I'm starting over. My baby's died. The leaves was withering and curling downward, but funniest part of the growth cycle is the germination of seeing the baby bird sprouts out in soil. Right? It's pretty cool watching like tiny little baby plants, and then all of a sudden they're like, ooh, I'm becoming bigger! I'm growing! So, at the end of the day, that's too bad. If you're in a really, really, really dry environment, now mind you, it's pretty fucking dry in here right now. I'm going to probably bring in a couple of buckets of water in for a few days. Once we get more plants in large pots, the general root medium giving off moisture that way is going to fix those issues. But currently, and like I've said in the past, humidifiers freak me out in grows. I would rather go old school and go a wet towel, or just use some buckets of water. Here, just a moment, everyone. I'm going to pop out and have a little pop there. And I'm going to grab this camera here. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, 1. Jake, Yokobuski, CO2 is a proven huge increase to yield. It's going to increase the efficiency of work that your plant can get done, basically, in a 24-hour period, let's say. So it'll definitely increase your yield, usually about 15 to 35% when using proper CO2 injection. I've seen it go on some strains, maybe even up to 40%. But you need to also remember, though, that it's extremely dangerous. It's heavier in air. So make sure your spouts that are injecting it are up high. Remember that it is extremely toxic and it can kill you very easily. So having a lot of sensors in there is also a very quintessential thing. Safety first, especially if you're growing in your home. So please be careful, everybody. I don't need any of you accidentally kill yourselves, okay? Okay, very nice. Moving on. Yeah, see, like I don't mind having my dehumidifier in there, but humidifiers freak me the fuck out. Totally, Jake, works really well. We've done that. It's not going to be the same as a CO2 injection, so doing like a breathable yeast version of CO2, that's about a 15% increase on that one. Am I smoking a cigar in my house? Not in the main house, just having a puff in the office here. I quit cigarettes. We're down to about 3 to 6 cigars a day, depending on the day. Some days I definitely smoke more than that, or not more. Well, not really more than 6, but that's a heavier day. But we were working really hard on that one. Yeah, you do, Cadillac Jack. That actually, funnily enough, isn't from my CTS, but it is from the exact same year of CTS. We've got a custom grill in ours, big black kind of cool metal front end on it. But yeah, this would have been a stock 2007 CTS front grilled plate. It's plastic. Grow Prodigy, molasses, and other kind of easy accessible sugars and stimulating the resins in your plant is really good, how you're going to have a greater terpene profile. So molasses is a really great one. The thing to remember when using molasses, I'm a big fan of it, but you got to stop using molasses definitely by flush. I usually won't use it, well, maybe up until flush, but that's cutting it close. I'll probably cut it off maybe 4 days before my flush. Hey, 100 people were watching for a brief second there. That was pretty cool. It's been a while since we hit 100. So simply put, because the reason why I say that is because molasses will leave a stark taste of molasses, all right, in your plant, in your marijuana, and then nobody wants that. You know, if I wanted to smoke some molasses, I'm just gonna put some molasses in my pipe. You know what I'm saying? Like, hashtag boom. William Edwards, you totally could add me, or if you're a part of the Facebook group, you can send me a message through Messenger there. We are on Instagram. On Instagram, we're Pot Squatch Growers. I am on Snapchat. I don't really ever check it, so I apologize to everyone on that one. I don't really understand it or the point of it, and don't really get how to use it, to be honest. And I'm just being completely honest about that one. But there are ways for you to show me your setup if you'd like to, William Edwards, and I would happy to take a look. Hey, thank you, Zeke Roderick. Yeah, it's been about a little over 2 months almost now. Or almost, it's either almost 2 months or just over 2 months that I haven't had a cigarette. So, Coyote Thrill, I have heard of Stripper Spit. Stripper Spit, the one I know is a hybrid. But yes, I do know that one. My grower friend's girlfriend works as a stripper. So he got very excited when he saw that one. And he called me. He's like, man, I found this thing called Stripper Spit. And, well, my wife's the stripper, so it's like, that's pretty funny to me. And I'm like, hey, man, like, that's funny. What's up, Evan? Fuck. I can do this. Evan Hareda. Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm screwing up this name. I'm usually pretty good at that one. I apologize, Evan. Welcome to the show. Oh, hell yeah, man. I'm a big, like I said, everyone knows I really enjoy Jake's, what are my take on autoflowers? I think that's one of the most number one questions we ever get on this channel. I don't mind answering it every time, though. It's okay. Simply put, I think, by and large, for me personally, autoflowers are more of a novelty for me as a personal grower. I think they definitely have come light years in the last number of years in terms of potency, yield, size, and ability to still be an autoflower in cannabis with a tight time window, but producing some seriously fire stuff. However, I will also say, though, that I am a big believer that they will never be as strong as their parent strains. That is why, personally, I don't usually grow them. We will be eventually doing a few autos here. One, because a lot of people are asking us to, and I don't mind giving the people of the community what they want. Plus, we've been sent some from like Aussie Big Buds and a couple of other people in our world of the pot squatches who made their own autos. So out of respect for them and their hard work on that, I will work on that. I think autos are great for new growers. I think they're a great way to start. They're a great way to start learning. I think they're great for people who are low on space and trying to be kind of, DL, as it were. So I think that's pretty cool, too. You're in cocoa. How should I use it? Well, cocoa, I'm not a big fan of using it straight. Remember that it can be quite inherent of thripes. So watch out for thripes. And remember, there's no real inherent nutrients to cocoa, so having either a slow drip feeding system is actually a better way to go in many senses, one could argue, with cocoa, or you could use dry amendments to then augment the cocoa in and of itself. A lot of people I know like to do that. Yeah. Molasses. It only kills it if it's a sulfured molasses, Pilgor. An unsulfured blackstrap molasses will not kill microbes. It will feed them. It's more natural, but yeah, you're right. If it's a sulfured molasses, I should have added that, by the way. Don't buy sulfured molasses, okay? Sulfur bad in terms of the levels of sulfur in the molasses, right? Because molasses comes from brown sugar, Pilgor. That's how it's made. It's cooked out of it. They're all one and the same. But good point, though. Thank you for bringing that up. I really do appreciate that, because I didn't actually bring that up. What brand newts do I use? I typically use
Green Planet. I'm a big fan of them these days. Hey, no worries, Kyle Paris. Thank you for tuning in to the show. Much love and have a beautiful day. Don't be sorry. Thank you for stopping by. One thing here. I'm trying to play catch up now. Of course. Marcus, probably in the next month or so, I think that talk show will release. They actually invited me back. I don't know if it's the same show or a different talk show this new production company's doing, but they're trying to put together an episode where Seth Rogen's going to be on the show. And if they do get him, if he agrees to come on the show, I've already been invited to come on the show with Seth Rogen. So I'm pretty stoked about that. It'd be really cool to meet him, I think. Right? I like Jake's too, James Dawson. What's up, DJ Drew 24V? How you doing, my fan? I'm glad they're looking better and they're not stressing out as much. Oh, totally Visible Farms Pilgor. That's why I like, if I'm going to use an actual granulated processed sugar of sorts, I love using a Jamura sugar, which has had an unsulfured molasses mixed back into the brown sugar, so it's even more sexy. One second here. Just trying to play catch up now because, you know, I'm obviously really slow. Thank you, Bound Trips. Oh, I feel you, Visible Farms, Pilgor. I love super soils and doing it that way. I just can't afford my current recipes right now, so that's why I use bottled newts. Keeps it simple, affordable, and it works for me, you know. Yeah, Nick, I've heard of similar products. I've never tried or played with them personally, but what's up, Fred Fury? Everybody welcome Fred Fury to the show. Well, good to see you, buddy. One second. I'm still trying to play catch up. My God, I'm slow at reading all of these messages. I apologize, everybody. What's up, Michael Jordan? How you doing, my friend? What's crackin'? Coyote Thrill. What's crackin'? Was just guessing with Indica. Good to know with the hybrid. Yeah, I mean, I've seen phenos on the stripper spit, quote unquote, that have gone both indica or sativa dominant. I think it is more of an indica dominant genetic, but again, that's just from a rough memory, so you might have to check into that one for you. William, go on to potsquatchgrowers.com and you can order one of these beauties of your very own. You can order shirts, papers, checks, all of that. It's all on potsquatchgrowers.com, my friend. Holy crap. Nicole Lenman, Autoflower Cannabis. The first commercially released strains were from the Joint Doctor back in the hood days. He did like the original Lowrider number 2. But it comes from utilizing the fact that most Ruderalis landrace strains have a genetic within them that do not require a change in the photoperiod to trigger the flowering hormone. It works differently. So it is selective breeding, basically, Nicole. Selective breeding. Happy Dude grows. If you properly pasteurize it, you should be good, I think. Yeah, I would say you're probably good. Especially if you're doing like a bake pasteurization. Get that temp up. How do you kill the thripes? I mean, you could either pasteurize it, like we were just talking about. I often will use Jake's. Patrick Ukemi. No, when I'm at like 5 or 10% ambering, I'll usually go and start my flush then. 7 times harder. What's up with you, my friend? I'm doing well. How do I feel about a drip system in soil? I feel really good about it as long as you stay on top of your reservoirs and making sure, everything is healthy. No, I will look it up for sure. Visible Farms Pilgor. I will definitely take a look at that for you, my friend. Trichome. What about Green Planet's Liquid W8? I use it, has molasses and humic acid. Well, I use their humic acid. I use my own molasses. I've never used that product specifically, but it is from a company that I've come to really trust at what they do. So, yeah, it's pretty nifty. But my point, Visible Farms Pilgor, is there's 2 types of molasses. There's sulfured and unsulfured, right? An unsulfured molasses is what you want. And that's, to my knowledge, and again, this is just me saying what I know, or have come to believe anyway in my education of marijuana, you know. But yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about it and hearing about it, though, Pilgor. Kevin Eves, in terms of telling plant genders, it comes in time. Once you get good, you can kind of identify pre-glands fairly easily. But it does take time, but you cannot. You can. It takes time and practice and getting used to it, but you can definitely do that though. Ow! Whew. Door bit my finger. Well, milk has sugar in it. It isn't a sugar. It has sugars in it. I think we're just being semantical now, though. William Edwards, have you ever done the what? Sorry, done what? I think I missed the first part. William Edwards, what? Oh, have you ever and Pop? Let's all type at once and blow this chat up. Yeah, thanks a lot, Hard Rock Pop. I'm having a hard enough time trying to keep up. Have you ever grown a plant over 2 years old and a 4x4 pot? Well, yeah, I've kept mothers alive for years. Probably the oldest one I've ever done was almost 12 years. How do you adjust jakes from veg to flower? Well, Brian, it depends on intended use with jakes. If you're just using it for a foliar feed and as a general maintenance or preventative maintenance kind of a thing, typically just put in about 15 milliliters to the liter on that one. Okay, 1 second here, everybody. I'll be plugging this in and switching to the other phone, and maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to keep up a little bit better. The angle, when I go for a little cigar smoky, a little bit harder. All right, let's try this now. Can I keep up? Let's find out.
Switch phone, there we are. Okay, so let's go back here.
Yeah, you know, Herb Rock Pop, other than some fungus gnats, I never really had any bug problems either for almost 20 years, but I was living in cities when I was doing it. Living in the woods now, and the fact that it doesn't really get that cold here, we don't get like a lot of crazy freezes, as it were, has definitely made it a tricky thing, and I've had to quickly learn things in the last, year and a half, approaching 2 years that I've been here. That's why I was quite happy when I met Jake's. Good product. Thank you, Strel, for sharing that. As Strel has shared, if you'd like to be like an Uncle Pot Squatch grower, you want to have the same lights I do, well, we have our own lighting brand. Professional grade, most affordable on the market. Check it out at that link, my friends. We've got the little Squatch, the big Squatch, and the double Squatch. Oh, no worries, Brian. There's Jake's and there is Jack's. 2 different products, 2 different companies, my friend. Hell yeah, Trichomy. See, it's going well so far. I'm glad you're happy, my friend. Patrick Ukemi. One plant easily knocks over, but I see roots through the sides and bottom of the 1 gallon pot. So confused. The pot doesn't knock over. The plant does with the light hammock. Are you saying you've got a thin stalk? Like it could be a genetic thing in one sense, or for example, if you want to go with a pre-bottled product, like for example, one thing that I kind of like is Fight to Thrive from Green Planet. Just sort of a lot of good vitamins and shit. Sorry, there's a few fungus gnats that have hatched and it's pissing me off. I'll deal with it after the show. That is a product that can help to boost that. There's a lot of little things. Basically, if it's not a genetic fuckery, you're going to need a bit of a better feed. It also could be lack of light, maybe, too, as part of that. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, Sandy Schiefer. On your Pot Squatch site, what Calvin color did you go with? I'm just a 3500 person, so I just always get excited when people order the same thing that I use, because I'm a nerd. What's up, Big Tree Farms? Hashtag boom to you. And boom, boom. Cheers to you. That was funny. What's up, Leslie Mickles-Schmidt? How do you order my lights? There has been a link floating around in the live stream. Srel, if you're still there, could you please share that link one more time for me? Nice one, Sandy. I like the 3500 too. Makes me... The 3500 Kelvin's my happy place. No worries, Patrick. I'm always happy to offer, my 2 cents and what I know on things to try to help. It's part of why we do what we do and it's what we give a shit about. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey. Thank you very much, Srel, for sharing that link. So, my friend Leslie Mickle-Schmidt, if you go to that link there, that is how you do it. What is the benefit of a driver? Well, the driver is the engine of the light, so without it, it won't work. Driver is the most important part next to the diodes themselves. And we only use Meanwell drivers because they're the Cadillac driver. They're the best driver that exists. They've been around for a long time. They do release a lot of new tech here and there. Every time something new is released, we check it, we test it. It all fucking sucks. A lot of people use Inventronics drivers now as a way to save costs, and they're more readily available. They suck, though. They're a souped-up piece of crap from China, in my humble 2 cents. That's why we stick with the Meanwell. They are expensive. They are hard to get sometimes, but that's why we stay on top of trying to purchase, parts whenever we can for getting the right drivers for our lights. And like I said, they are the Cadillac of drivers. So just rock and roll, and let the good times roll, my friend. Pilgor, are you still there, Pilgor? I have a question. What's up, Icelandic Fiskers 781? I love Fiskers. Fucking love those snaps. Sorry, everybody, I'm playing catch up again. Kevin Eves, you can do that. You don't need to do that. The plants will eventually reveal their genders. If you are concerned about wasting space, time, and power on potential males, then yes, I would say go that route. I personally am never really worried about that. Now, often I've been doing it from clone on the channel for the last couple of years. But yeah, it's definitely a legitimate technique. I mean, if you're not worried about power consumption time, I mean, I'm a bigger advocate for people learning to spot pre-glands and the glands as they're developing themselves. I just think that's better practice, but that's my humble 2 cents. Off Bacher. Well, actually, the best diodes in the world aren't Chinese. They're Korean and made by Samsung. That's why we use Samsung chips in our lights. So if you want to go to a factory and see the making or where they come from or see the tech, go to Korea. But if you want to see it in person, just order it to where you live from my company. Patrick Ukemi. Do you feel the high is much weaker the longer the weed stays in the jar? No, it gets better. The natural curing process is taking place where THCA is converting into THC. Some THCs are converting to a CBN. As a plant is properly cured, that is what is going to bring it to its maximum potential. I mean, obviously, after a point, it will degrade, though, too. It all depends on the strain. Some things will cure up beautifully in about 4 weeks. Some things will be 6 to 8 weeks. I've seen some plants take up to 6 to 12 months on a cold cure. Typically more sativas is where you're going to find that. Not a big fan of sativas. Another reason right there as to the why. But, there you go. Trachome, I got a question, dude. I use my tent as my drying environment. Will having a carbon filter extraction affect terps, or am I overthinking it? Overthinking it. You're good. But I like that you're thinking, though, so I applaud that. Hell yeah. That's the way they're meant to be. There's meant to be snips and meant to be sticky. Now, mind you should probably clean them during harvest and in between harvest, but, that's just my opinion. All right, so, Pilgor. I'm trying to remember the other ones you sent me. I'm trying to remember. The one I was really also excited about, obviously, this is the Bubba Kush, because I fucking love that shit. You sent me, I think, Barry White. Your Barry White, right? You sent that one. Because I was trying to remember which one it was that you'd sent with that one, because I kind of want to get some of those going, too, but I couldn't remember what the fuck it was. I think it's the Barry White, though, right? You never know. People dislike me all the time. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, my friend. It's all right. What's up, William Johnson? I'm doing well. How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today here at Pot Squatch Growers. Cadillac Jack. You can even take clones at like well, technically you can take them even the day before you harvest if you want. The later in the flower, the harder it is to get them to root. And then once they root, you're going to have to allow them to re-veg, which is a slow, arduous process sometimes. But it is also a legitimate technique called monster cropping. The longer you leave it, the harder it is to get to re-veg. But the longer you leave it, the more hard it will monster crop for you. So it's a bit of this, bit of that. I would normally recommend 2 to 4 weeks of flower, and you will be a happy boy or girl. Or see or they, I'll call you the butt squatch. Soon, William. That's all I can say. Building the website is the main part. Building the website. Good night, all. It's Overwatch time. Nice hard rock pop. You go give them hell in that game. I don't really understand what it is, but do you shoot them up in that game? Is it a shoot 'em up? Well, if it's a shoot 'em up, well, you shoot 'em up. Super good for Funko Pop Squatch. Yeah, just topping, training, cutting. Don't have her in a huge pot. Reduce the amount of light that's going on to it as well. Patrick is a good way to do that. Thank you. Pilgor, I was pretty sure it was the berry white, which I'm really stoked to try. But I couldn't remember, because I couldn't remember. So I was like, fuck, I'm just going to ask. Didn't mean to be rude by forgetting. I just couldn't remember which one it was. I knew it was there. It's one of them in the box. I just don't know which one. All right. Oh, I agree, Green Moose. And we'll get there, man. You know, I say man as an assumption. Whomever you are in that regard, whatever makes you happy. But yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I think we're getting there. Overall, I think the world slowly is moving towards a more open mind in terms of cannabis. A lot of people are coming around to it. A lot of countries, or at least parts of countries, are starting to come around to it. So keep the faith and, you know, keep on fighting for the right of the weed titty people, right? So. Oh, okay, rock pile tanks, good. I just been, you know, kind of keeping it a little bit loosey-goosey till you got here, so thank you for finally showing up, but you're very late. I'm just teasing. Welcome to my friend, the Rachel. Nice, William Jonathan. My phone case looks badass. It's a normal phone case. I found it on Amazon, and it's a little worn out. So all the white on it's just from its wear and tear. What's up, Manifesto? I'm doing well. How you doing well, my friend? Well, like I said, free among GYO is. I don't really order a lot from seed banks. Not really my jam, typically. But GYO is great back in the day. I think they only do their own things now, but again, that's not a bad thing. They always had a good reputation of the day. So if anything, it quite possibly will improve your experience. So maybe check out the GYO Seed Bank, my friend. Hell yeah, Richardson, yeah. Oh, Visible Farms Pilgor. What's moneyberry though? Is it like a shishka berry or a blueberry crossed with something else, or what's moneyberry? I don't know that one. Oh, hell yeah, Hard Rock Pop. Nothing wrong with that, my friend. Alpha Baca, not currently. There are strains that I've developed. I do have the genetics, but, well, right now in Canada, there doesn't seem to be a direct license, or it doesn't seem to be very clear about what one has to do in order to go into the business of selling seeds. So I've been trying to figure that out if we were to do it from Canada. As a legal company, we got to do it legally, right? So trying to figure that out. Another option would be for us to actually get one of our cohorts in the States to make the seeds for us. Or even if we were to make them here in Canada, no, they'd have to make them down there just for legal reasons. But then we could do it at least out of certain states where it's allowed to be sold as a novelty. We will be incorporating in the States as one of the things that we have to do. I believe we have to do that in order to properly do our taxes, because we have to file taxes with the IRS for the light sales, because it is done through our partner company, Soul Strip, which is in California and is an American company, so all sales there in USD because of that. But given such, we have to file through the IRS for all that. I'm just figuring out and learning how to do that too. It's been fun. Yeah. We'll get there. Working on them. Recharge, decent enough product. Mammoth P, only have had friends use it. Mammoth P, the friends I have used it have liked it. I would say go less is more. It has got some scary numbers on it, if I'm remembering correct, Sherelle. So you just be careful, especially with Mammoth P, man. Just be very careful. Oh, that's awesome, Hard Rock Pop. Well, I appreciate the love, my friend. Hey, I'm doing well, Dougie. How you doing, Dougie 420? Doing well? I hope you're doing well. Ooh, tangle in my beard. Happens. Big Tree Farms. Took 7 to 10 days to root, 4 weeks to pull out of the bud stage. The cuts I took, actual buds of re-veg faster. Yeah, no, that sounds right to me in my experience with Monster Crop and Big Tree Farms. Hell yeah. Nice. Cleaner down bleach, Texas Pete. Heck yeah. Caulked all the cracks. Nice. Sealing it up, bud. Then painted it all white, ready for the next run now. Nice. I will call you after the show because, well, you're probably not there, so I won't be able to see it. I'm assuming you took some pictures. Shoot me some pictures, Texas Pete. Because actually, if you shoot it to here, I could actually probably check it while we're in the live stream, so. Nice, Sweet Pea the Gardener. How was your shower? Was it nice? Whoa. Trichomy. What would I add if I could only use 5 things in my super soil? Dolomite lime, Jamaican back guano, worm castings. How many is that? 3. Blood meal, and fuck it, bone meal. Why not? There we go. 5. I think that's 5. Hell yeah, Big Tree. That sounds sexy. DB, I don't really have a favorite strain, but indicas are my passion in the world, and to go a little bit even deeper than that, I love Kushes. Kush makes me happy. I like the Kush. It makes me happy inside. Tastes right, smells right, just makes me go, yes! Where a lot of sativas taste like weird. They dry out my soft palate. I don't like the smell. I find it almost, I'm allergic to it almost mildly. And they trigger extremely hardcore anxiety often for me too. Not all sativas, but a majority of them though. Oh my god, Pilgor. Master Kush and Hindu Kush is what Moneyberry is? Oh my god. It's one of the sexiest sounding things in the world. Because Master Kush is a blending of 2 different Burmeses, so basically you're taking 2 Burmese sisters and then they're fucking a Hindu Kush. Oh my god. You got any of that one on its own, man? That sounds fucking lit! Holy shit! Ah, man! Sorry, be right back and eat my torch, but man, that sounds sexy. Fuck yeah. Hindu Kush and Master Kush. Fucking sexy, yo. I love it. And so that has been crossed with White Widow. That is a hybrid world I could probably get into. Now, mind you, question: have you found there are more indica finos with that, or are there more like sativa finos, or like what? You know, yeah. Well, Too Drunk, Too Sloppy, back guano can be reprocessed through a cockroach's ass too. A lot of back guano is actually often mined out of caves and stuff. Oh, that's awesome, Sandy. I don't know if anyone actually has ever told me that their first ever grow light was a Squatch light. I think you may be the first person who was the first, like their first light was a Squatch light saying, "Hey, that's super dope." Well, thank you for the support, and I'm glad you're happy with your purchase, and I am honored to be your first. Hopefully your last. Excuse me. I'm doing well, Aaron Bennett. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. DJ Drew 24 to beat? No, because you don't have to replace the LEDs. Currently to date, Soul Strip has never had one of their Soul Strips burned out. Ever. So, simply put, the way the light is designed, with an operating time on all parts at 50,000 hours on the original rig. So, let's do some basic math here. What is that roughly at 18.6? 18 hours on, 6 hours off, every single day, 365 days a year. That's 7.6 years. So let's say you're just vegging forever. So it's 7.6 years we're talking here. If you start flowering with the damn thing, fuck, it's gonna run even longer. But at 18.6, every single day, every single year, for 7.6 years, the maximum efficacy loss by the light will be at maximum 10%. You gotta switch out your HPS every 2 to 3 runs. Well, you know, the light bulb changes alone pay for the rig. Yeah, maybe we'll do a Squatchberry one day to see mine. You never know, my friend. Oh, I know the after trim gel shower quite well, my friend Sweet Pea. It's a sticky one. A Saskatoon berry. I mean, there's Shishka berry. I'm assuming it would be Pilgor, like a berry strain they created from Saskatoon, I'm assuming. So probably like a Shishka berry reworking, maybe. That's just me guessing based off the name, but... Well, you know, Big Mac creates, maybe we'll have to, you know, the first time we do run the berry white, we might just have to smoke a joint and do a musical performance on the channel for all you. You know what I'm saying? Mike Larry. I got yellow spots in some of the fan leaves. Should I use CalMag? Are they actual circle spots, and are they in the middle, or are they starting? Because typically with the CalMag con deficiencies, what you're going to see is kind of a little bit on the tips, a little bit on the edging, and then you can see it come down like kind of that main heart. So this was a singular, one of the serrated leaves on a leaf, right? So you're going to see around the edges, but then you're going to see it come in through the sort of the spine a bit more. Spotting, I don't know if that sounds right. Could be calcium, magnesium, maybe, but I don't think so. I think it's more along the lines of possible zinc onset deficiency or some of the secondaries, more what you're looking at with that one. Without seeing a picture, it's really hard for me to comment on it, to be honest, but, I mean, you know, and that's the funny thing is, like, deficiencies don't just necessarily look exactly the same with every single genetic or species. Like, everything's a little bit different, you know what I mean? So, it's part of educating yourself, getting used to it, like, you know, over time. Nice to see man Smurf berries. Nice Pilgor, indica traits, I like it, super stoked, can't wait. I hope it still has that crazy trike action to the White Widow. Fuck, White Widow. Like, even though it's the sap, man, like, White Widow was one of those ones back in the day, man. Fuck, it was cool. Huge amount of respect for that genetic, I tell you. Dizimon, pigeon guano could have a lot of parasites in it, especially given a lot of what they eat. So I would be wary of pigeon guano. If it's a self-controlled pigeon, which you know what it's eating, still pasteurize that shit before you use it. Same thing with like chicken shit. Pasteurize it before using it for feeding your stuff. Hey, have a beautiful day, my friend Pilgor. Keep it sexy, keep it real. I'll talk to you soon, my friend. Dank Duke Growing Adventures. I could see it definitely being beneficial. I've never worked with it myself, so I don't know. I don't really have any experience with it, so I can't really speak to how I would use it as much. But if anyone else has played around with that, I mean, feel free to answer on that one. Many of my friends, Happy Dude Grows, go metal halide for veg, and then HPS for the flower. What's up, Honda Man's Garage? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. That's kind of my experience with the two. I switched to fucking around with LEDs, my personal grows, years before the tech was there, because I saw where it would go eventually, and I saw the potential, and I loved it. Brad Reed, why do I not use pots, or like, do you mean like an air pod? Breathable root mediums, is that what you were talking about? And that's at you, Brad Reed. Catty and Canis Amateur. Evening to you as well. Been watching, thought I'd join the fray. Well, welcome to the fray of the weirdos on Pot Squatch Growers, my friend. Welcome to the time of the show of the fun of the yes. All right, Smokey McPot, you have the best grow channel on the... Oh my goodness, I don't know about that, but thank you very much. I do love our community, and I do love our little show. I love doing our little show. I'm very excited for the potential TV show that we're trying to get going this year, called Strange Pots Unknown, with Pot Squatch. It's an Anthony Bourdain style show. But instead of traveling my country and the world, talking about culture and food and stuff, it's going to be exploring cannabis culture, both in Canada, around the world, in the States, everywhere. And we are working on trying to get that going, working on kind of the pitch package, putting that together for getting it ready for investors right now. We already have a whole production team that are on board. My buddy, Josh Nepper, brilliant camera guy, filmmaker, owns his own production company. He and I are working on kind of brainstorming the first season and what will be in it. It's going to take about $1 million for us to make the show. So we've got to get all that together first before we can kind of shop it around for investors. But I'm really stoked about that one. Who knows? Maybe if we get to develop a nice camaraderie talk with Seth Rogen on the interview show, maybe he would like to hear about it. I don't know. I mean, rock pile tanks, air pots or breathable pots are definitely positive in a lot of ways. I've always just used plastic pots. It's what I've done my whole life. It's what I know. It's what I grew up doing. We will be carrying air pots eventually, our own line of them on our store. Talking to a number of different suppliers to get those together is one of the things that we launched with the furthering the gardening line and the Grow Tech line on the store. Part of why we're doing that is, well, mainly it's a hell of a lot easier to ship a fabric pot than like a big joint bucket. Cooley, trim should be dry anyway, because remember, we dry trim, we don't trim wet, so. But once you're done trimming it off, I would definitely move it into the freezer until you're ready to make your hash. Sorry, buddy, I'm playing catch up. I'm scared to see how far behind. What's up, Renee Legato? Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here as well. Good to see you. Mylar bags? Really? That's weird. Never heard of that. Happy to grow. Some people do have ballasts that do both, so some people would be switching bulbs, some people would be switching rigs, probably would be my guess on that one. Nice. Welcome to day 3 of Flower, Honda Man's Garage. I'm glad it's going well for you. Well, exactly. That's always been kind of my feeling as well, rock pile tanks. I mean, I would say an AirPod's probably slightly better than a bucket, but I don't really think it's a huge difference, really. But yeah. Root circling. What do you mean? Like going around the pot? It's not a bad thing. I don't use that, but I do have drainage rock that I put in the bottom of my pots. There's even drainage rock in my 1 gallons here on the table. So, Dank Doof Growing Adventures. Hey Josh, do you do any outdoor in the season? Typically no. In Canada, when you get your medical license, you have to declare whether you're indoor or outdoor. I've never lived in a place where I had a yard until I bought this house, and now I've got a yard, and I do technically have a space where I could grow some giant weed plants. But I do have neighbors, even though we live in the woods, and it's like, I don't need the hassle of that. So maybe one day when I get that acreage and I can, live in the middle of nowhere really, and that'd be great. I'd love to fuck around with it. I have a lot of friends and I help them with their outdoor grows. So maybe I could even find a friend who's willing to let me do a couple plants at their place outdoors, and then we can do a kind of a chronological thing over the summer season for you that way. That could be fun. I will look into. I'm not 100% sure who would let me do that. I got to think about it. But well, exactly, Dazima. And I was the same. I switched to LED and started fucking around with LEDs over a decade ago. So I feel you, man. Man, they were overpriced as of underpowered shit back then. But William Johnson, I will. Send me a link, William Johnson. Is there any way to know the strain after germination? If I did not know the strain to begin with, probably only genetics, right? Yeah, you're never really going to know perfectly. Someone like myself or somebody who's been growing a long time who's seen a lot of different cannabises over the years can usually give you a rough idea on something maybe, or some guesses, or talk about it a bit. But you're without having an original genetic sample that's an established genetic sample of what a strain is, which doesn't exist in this world. We just don't have that. We don't have like a big genetic log of what genetics are what. So, but you can at least, well, it's less now too, but you can kind of go, oh, this looks like an indica. It'll probably go indica. But because of the tomfoolery, the bad breeding, the non-stabilization, and how the fuck everyone in their grandma thinks you can just cross a strain initially on an F1 to make a strain, and they don't give a shit about doing it properly. We've got a very watered down genetic pool in certain places or certain commonly available things. You've got shit that looks indica but is smoking sativa and even finishing on a sativa time window when it looks like it's just fucked. So that's why I love old school genetics and or growing things from people that I trust as growers. Well, I feel you, Rock Pile Tanks. I use 10s and 20s. I think I might try to see if we can go full 20s on everything this run. But I probably can't afford to buy new pots. So probably we're going to go with a mix of them. Hey! I'll check it out, Brad Reed. It's a new concept. Mylar bags. Weird for growing. Nifty, though. I'm curious. Confused, but curious. Luminized polymer. Used as a grow medium. Well, I guess it makes sense. Plastic smell. Yeah. Interesting. Be a good shield in terms of the heat, keeping the happy place in the root medium, maybe. Nifty, though. Not fun to think about. Ahoo! 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 Wow. Excuse me, everybody. And if you're wondering, that was a sneeze. Holy shit, DJ Drew. It's like 7 degrees here. Minus 30, dang, dude? Fuck. It's like 6 or 7 degrees here. Oh, man. Thank you very much, 9374608 Cooley. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying your grinders. And it makes me really happy when people enjoy their purchases and stuff. I liked the grinders. I shopped around to a lot of different suppliers when I was getting those done because I was really wanting to try to find a quality old school style space case from like when I was a kid. And that's what I was looking for. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Rock pile tanks, yes, but for indoor growing even too. Unless you're doing like a sea of green style, You're going to want a bare minimum of 5 gallons. No ifs, ands, or buts about it in my humble things. Then you're just wasting money. If you're an indoor grower, power bills, etc. Hey, thank you, Beans 420D. I appreciate your kind words. I like it very much. It's very kind of you. When is trolling going to start? I'm sick of it. What you mean, Neil Bushnell? Excuse me. Cool, Dazimon. I've never personally done that, so I'd have to check that. Do you pH your clone or water? Personally, I don't, in that I know that my water is coming out fine. It's a happy pH, and I'm not worried about that. So if it's an unknown water source for the first time you're using it, I would. If you live in a place, though, that once you've tested, you know your water is fairly consistent in terms of where it's being supplied from, which ours is. Ours is on a gravity feed coming off a big gravity feed well in the area that I live in. Very consistent water. I still run it through a reverse osmosis system with a realkalining, a mineralizing filter afterwards. But, you know, I live surrounded by mines and you know, a lot of forest or... Come on, brain! Cutting down trees and shit. Lumbering. Fuck, what's the... I'm being an idiot. What the hell's the word? Oh my god, half my friends, that's their job. They're being lumberjacks, but... Cutting down fucking trees. The lumber industry. You know what I'm talking about. But when you're surrounded by mines and all that kind of stuff, sometimes certain things can sneak into the water supply here. One thing I found in some of the water in the local area for me, a little bit of arsenic, a little bit of heavy metals occasionally. There's a lot of chlorine in our water here, but again, you can just let that sit for a couple days, good. But yeah, I still put the reverse osmosis in there, just given that, just to be safe for myself. But stop, sorry, bro. Stop, sorry, bro. All right, Neil. I'm still confused, but all right, sounds good. Thank you! Logging. Fuck, I'm a dumbass. Don't you love that? How sometimes it's just like this, like it's a word you've used your whole life and it just falls out of your head. For me, just now, logging. It's just gone. I'm surrounded by people and friends who log. Like if I go to the bar locally, talk to people who are loggers or lumberjacks, but I couldn't remember logging. Dank doof growing adventures. I miss your little closet grow. It was killer. Well, I mean, I'm converting a washroom to at least a veg area. You know, I wanted more space, and you know, my wife wanted to have a closet that could have clothes in it. Yeah. Ah, crap, right? So now I live in a place where I have a lot more space to kind of fuck around my shit, and she doesn't have to have a house that's being taken over by weed shit everywhere. Yeah, there's a lot of logging out here too, DJ Drew. We're out in the Fraser Valley here, right? So lots of trees, logging and stuff. Well, Neil Bushnell, my main, how I check my water is, you know, I run electrical current through it, and eventually things will appear. I'm still not super educated on this. I hope, please everyone know that. I just learned off the internet and did it when we came here. And you kind of use basic terms like if you see this or that, then this is that, and then as it kind of comes out of the water, right? You basically just run electricity through it. John Boy. Shrooms may do what, John Boy? What, the word falling out of my head? Nah, man, I've been doing shrooms off and on since I was a kid. I don't think they're having that effect on my brain. That was funny, though. Fuck. Sorry, everybody. There's a few fungus gnats still in there. I'm going to go in and through and DE a few things. Do a heavy, good water, and then let that dry just a smidge and then just de the fuck out of these. Because I'm getting pissed off at these silly plants. Uh-oh. Is this still go? Oh, there we go. It's back. Sorry, everybody. The internet was fluctuating. Rock pile tanks. Do I ever take a tolerance break? I haven't in a long time. But like when I was younger, I would do that a lot because I used to smoke a lot more than I smoke now. Like when I was a kid, I was an idiot. Like back in school, I smoked like an ounce or two a day. It was BC, man, art school, you know. But so not really anymore. I think if anything, I just rotate through a lot of different genetics or different types of things to try to keep the tolerance away, if that makes sense. So that's why having a decent genetic store, having a good collection of mothers to kind of have a number of different genetics to have an option from to kind of play with, my personal opinion, the good thing, you know. Buzz Killington. Well, they're not clear cutting the timber, but some sections of the valley, I'm like, well, do we really have to make it that wide? Like, just like go over there and be a little more forgiving. I don't fucking know. But we don't have, because clear cutting's illegal in Canada. Now, mind you, some of the shit you see, well, I'd say it's kind of borderline, but you know. At least to BC, anyway. I can't really speak to the other provinces' laws, to be honest with you. I only really know BC in terms of lumber industry a bit, but... do I just grow synthetic, or do I do any organics? Some of the stuff that I use as feed is organic feed. I do like doing organic super soil, big fan of that. I can't afford my super soil recipes because I put a lot of random things in there. It's very expensive to grow organically, at least in Canada for sure. So eventually I'd like to do some of my super soil grows and teach y'all like my take on mine is just a, you know, now I'm blanking on, was it Joe Cool or Subcool from back in the day, and he was the first one who ever really talked about the sort of concept of a super soil. I first read about it in High Times back in the day, and that's when I started playing with organic super soils and kind of doing it. So I'm a big fan of it. But very expensive. So currently right now in my realities of the world, I'm going to use the pre-bottled nutrient for my medicine. Green Planet's great though. It's you know, it flushes out really nice, and I really like their products. I've been more impressed with their products as a feed than anything else I've used over the years. So yeah. Thank you, William Johnson. My brain gets weird sometimes on things, so. Neil Bushnell. How old am I? How old do you... okay. I'll tell you. Nobody else tell him. I'll tell you if you make a guess first. Anyone who doesn't actually know my age is allowed to play the game. Okay. Happy Dude Gross guess is 39. What's your guess, Neil? Wow. Thanks, Mike. I love you too, you fucking dick. Well, if I'm 106, Mike, what's that make you? Just joking. Nicole Ledman, you're younger than me. Dank Doof Growing Adventures, 35. Rockpile Tanks says no, probably 30. DV says 41. Manifesto says 42. Kevin Eve says 40. Neil Bushnell says Bud. Yes, that's actually my age, weed age. No, I'm just being silly. Cole says 36. Wan Verb says 32. Climax Eco says 31. Tummy Stick says 37. Wow, we all have very diverse opinions on my age here. It's kind of funny. At least no one said 50, except for Mike at 106. But I know how he knows at my age he's just being a dick now. Okay, so... is there anyone else who wants to guess, or should I just reveal it now? And Luke. There we go. Thanks, John Boy. Making me feel sexy. 51. We finally got a 51. Thanks, John. You know, it wasn't complete till he said it. Now I'm definitely answering before someone says 61. Okay. I am 31 years old, everybody. I was born in 1988. I was born late in the year. I'm a Cancer. Yeah, 31 years old. A lot of people are shocked when they find out that I'm only 31, especially when they find out all the weird shit I've been doing in my life. I started doing a lot of things very young, moved out at the age of 15, was a man-child, was able to buy cigarettes without ID and go to bars without ID at 13 years old. 6 foot tall at 10, full beard by 11, chest hair at 9. Kicked out of the McDonald's play place at 8.5. Yeah, I was a freak. Man-child thing, you know. My poor mom had a really hard time keeping me close first part of my life, you know. Then once I hit, like 12, I was sort of done growing. So I was good, mom. I stay 6 size now. If anything, I start shrinking as I age. I used to be 6'2". I'm only 6'1" now. Now, mind you, driving into a power pole at 70 kilometers an hour and taking it to the shoulder probably didn't help that. I'm pretty sure I lost an inch that night. All right, now we're playing catch up after my joking. Yeah, age it for life, right, Mike? Age is but a number. Nice one, DB. Well, no, the funny thing is, though, is even without my beard, everyone has always thought I was older, even if I shave it. It's just weird. I've been getting auditions to play dads in their mid-30s to early 40s since I was 21 or 22 as an actor. It's weird. I was like, fuck you, Hollywood, I don't think I look that old. You know? Kevin Eves, I mean, I like vaporizing flower occasionally, but for me, it's more of a novelty. I smoke my weed. I'm a weed smoker. I like smoking my titties. I like edibles too, but I mean, I'm a big weed. I'm a big fan of just smoking a doobie. I like smoking doobie. Or for you, if it's like smoking a pipe or bong. But no, for me, big doobie smoker. Big fan of the doobies and the blunts. No, exactly, John Boy. Just been doing a lot of things. I by the age of 29, I've done more with my life than probably anyone would do in a full one. You know, the age of 27, I became a published author in China and started doing a bunch of trips over there as part of the Canadian delegation, invited by the Chinese government for the first Spirit Bethune conference. The age of 19, I got a job as the Minister of Hospitality of a university, where I was the head of 3 university departments. 24 hours a day, I was the head of the security department of the entire university. But after hours, the head of the facility and hospitality department. I ran their hotel as well. I've been a baker. I've managed restaurants, been a head chef. Worked for sales companies. I've done a lot of weird shit over the years. I've seen a few things. Lived in Europe, got married already once. Was an MC professionally in Europe for a couple of years. Was an underground cage fighter as a kid for 6 years. I mean, I've done a lot of weird, stupid shit. There's going to be a few volumes when it comes to writing the stupidity, which is my biography. But at least, smoke a doobie, have a beer. It should be a good read, a vidget. Rodney Lepine, in my personal way, I don't store them in the fridge or the freezer. I like to store it in cooler temperatures. No, that's where a fridge could work. Keep it away from light, though, and obviously keep it dry. But and keep it away from light. Light is not going to help them be happy. Frankie boy, I do smoke bongs. I got one like right over there. So still prefer joints though. But some nights I get into a bong mood. You throw on the Sapathiel, you start hitting bongs. But most of the time I'm smoking a joint. Oh yeah, happy dude growth. Joints make it taste better. Have I ever grown weed? Yes. Yes, I have. Yeah, once or twice. Plant or two, phone or two, a couple 100 pounds or two. That was funny, man. Oh shit, that was funny. That was really funny. I enjoyed that. That was good. Even if, you know, right? Oh my goodness. Even if you were just being mean, I enjoyed it regardless. Shh, Rodney, don't tell them my secret. I've been faking with holograms the entire time. Why don't I scrog? Not a big fan of scrogging, Brad. I find that one, it makes, especially with growing large plants and large canopies, certain parts, it's much harder to work on them. Yes, is non-scrogging more labor intensive? Yes, but I enjoy the intimacy in the daily gardening, and I prefer the tie-up, shall we say. I like making the BDS and porno. Plus, easier to work on when it comes to mid to later flowering windows. So that's just my personal opinion, but you know, that's my preferred style, how I like to do the dance, as it were, with the to do. But yeah. High goals 420. Damn what? Yeah, right? And I mean, it's also fun too. Like, there's something about tying up your weed titty plants, right? You come in, and like, let's say one night you're mid-flower, and then the resin gets so much, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, you're getting heavy, baby. You gotta put on everything on you. And then tying it up. That's part of why I leave this chain here above my head. Because it's a great thing to run down sort of the double row of the plants, and then I can just sort of run lines from it, and it makes my life easy. So that's why I never took that chain off or down, because it's a great place to tie on to. Disco bondage weed titties. That's right, Mike, the Sacred Right Squatch. That is correct. It really does, and it also becomes harder to grow that way. If you have any real issues, or you really want to do a good pluck, or any controls, or this or that, you know, a small scrog, totally fine. But when you get to a certain size, it really does take it away hardcore. So that's why I've never been a real advocate for the scrog. Not for me personally, anyway. It's a great, easy way to deal with outdoors, but at the same time, like, fuck, just build a big frame around the fucker. Why not? Oh, totally. But yet, that's how all giant LPs do it. Sorry, everybody, I've got to take a piss. Oh, yes. Welcome to the first stream of the live stream. It's not a stream until I stream. Live stream. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's been a while since we made the joke. Oh, hell yeah, Brad Reed. I mean, you know, everyone should at least try scrogging. I think the great thing about scrogging, which is pretty cool, is it really shows you how the plant will mature. So basically, as it starts locking into a 1, 2, or 3 level mat, you can't really move shit as much after a point. So, simply put, it's a good chance for you to watch how certain things and parts of the plant are going to develop, get a little thicker here, a little less thicker there. But, you know, so that I think is a beneficial experience for anyone to have in terms of kind of like learning. But, yeah, there's a reason personally, you know, that's, you all know why I don't personally do it, right? So, oh no, ancient Tubric, I am nothing, I am not a master of anything. I am but a fool in the woods with opinions. I am a simple, simple fool, my friend. I know a thing or two, and I'm confident in my abilities, but I do not like that word. It's not a good word. Yes, I am streaming right now. I was taking a piss before, if that's what you're referencing. But yes, my friend, I am but a simple fool who knows a thing or two. I am confident in my ability, but yes. I am but a pot squatch. Hear me roar. Woof. Fucking funny. Sorry. I found that quite amusing. Oh, it's a bad sign when I find myself too funny.
probably a good thing though, or else, with the long hours of when your wife's working and film all the time, they get lonely. Ooh, it's dark in here. Whoop. There we go. Hell yeah. That was just the other day, right? Happy Dude Grows? I totally remember that. Ah, crap. Inferno's not here, too. Keep forgetting to send out the sticker for his new leg. Okay, Inferno, if you watch this, I will get it in the mail. Keep forgetting, because I'm an idiot. And to be fair, I don't really leave the house as often as I'd like sometimes. Live in the woods a bit, so. But I will get that out to you, bud, for your new leg, and I do apologize about taking my sweet-ass time about that. Oh, I love bamboos too. Bamboo steaks are great as well. I'm a big fan of bamboo steaks. I've just kind of started using giant tomato cages these days because one, kind of gets the job done, and like as long as you kind of like watch it as it grows into it at the first parts, it's great. Gives you an initial place to kind of tie off things to, or when using those cages, it's a great place to kind of tie off onto the cage to the giant chain as well, for doing that kind of BDSM porno on your wee titty plants. As everyone can see here. Oh, that's awesome to see, man. Thank you for using that. That's cool. A lot of people did this year because Troy was selling them at a flea market and grinders and stuff. So a lot of people bought grinders and the papers as well for stocking stuffers. It was pretty cool. What's up, Richard S? I'm doing well. How you doing, my friend? Daddy right now is in town for an audition for a television show. So everyone send her positive vibes. I mean, the audition's probably done. Yeah, it was 2 hours ago. So, but rock and roll. Happy New Year to you as well, Richard S. You know what'd be funny? Because we're not using I'm not using my cell phone. It is a cell phone. It's my old one that for doing the live stream. So we could actually even call Mrs. Potsquatch. We could do like a voice call, like, "Hello, you're on the air. Where are you? Where's my dinner?" I'm just joking. I do the cooking in our house. It's funny. Except tonight she's cooking dinner though. Excited. Hungry. Could be all the pot. Happy new beer, right? It will be for me soon. I got to grab one. So, one, we're gonna definitely get some of that Barry White going. We're gonna get those Bruce banners going. I think I've still got to get the 1/3 Bruce banner set of beans for my one buddy. It's just down the road though. I just got to get that. I really want to try some of the Semango as well. So I'm thinking we're gonna do some Semango. Oh, and I got to do the Black Dominus bean that Adam sent me because, well, simply put, he's like sent it to me a long time ago, and he really wants to watch me do it. Barely White. Dude, oh my God. Okay, Caden Crooks at District Records and I were drinking some beers and stoned as shit one time talking about, because I would like to do it, and he says he's down. Whether he'll actually do it, I don't know, but I'd love to do at least a couple of tracks, maybe even a small midget album together, a little rap album, come out of retirement briefly, and we came up with names for each other, and for him, because he's mixed race, right? And he's got quite fair skin and like bright green eyes at the same time. So he was like, well, we were like, okay, so you'll be mostly white. And that was the joke. And I'll be like, barely white. And I'll be barely white, right? And they were like, yeah. Then they were, yeah, mostly white and barely white. Hello. It was just us being stoned and stupid. But that totally triggered a memory of that. Tony Barrios, first time growing, and I made the mistake of buying 6 months soil, so I bought Fox Farm organic soil. The plants seem to be doing okay, but do you think I should try to move the plants into Fox Farm soil? No. I would just flush really heavy and maybe hit that, Tony, with like even a flushing agent when it's ready to remove that salt, because that flushing agent is going to help to remove those salts, right? That's the whole point of it. So maybe that'd be my approach on that one. I also find that Fox Farm runs fairly hot, so be careful on that one for new plants and going forward with that. Oh, 17 days old. Well, then, yeah, sorry. Good question. I should have asked that. Good question there, Rockpile Tanks. Tony, if they're that young, you should be good. Just let them grow out a bit and then kind of maybe try to do a switcheroonie once the root systems develop a smidge more. Do I have ganja cats? No. My cat doesn't really eat ganja, but my dogs love eating weed. They're big fans of weed. Pot squatches puppies like to eat the weed titties. Everyone, right now, that link being shared by Mike the Safer Ride Squatch is where you're going to get your Pot Squatch Growers hats, t-shirts, rolling papers, grinders, your Jake's all-in-one, and that's where you're going to stay tuned for all of your Pot Squatch news via the newsletter. Going into the new year, we're actually going to be doing that and doing a good job on that one. We're still learning, getting things going. But we will be releasing in this year a lot of new products as well in terms of garden supply. That's kind of our phase 2 that we're working towards in terms of that is releasing our own branded other items other than just lights to help you grow your weed titty plants. And that is part of our mission, my friends. My dogs love any part of it. They love the leaves. They love the buds. Sometimes they're really tawny dogs, so they like eat a bud. They're all fucked up. They're all like, "Whoa, man, I'm so baked, man." First time it happened, it was a little scary, but then then you realize, oh wait, no, my dog's just baked. Okay, gotcha. If anyone needs to send Uncle Potsquatch an email, potsquatch420@gmail.com is the email to reach me at that Mike the Safer Ride Squatch has sent there. That is also the email for the online store. If you ever have any questions about anything there. See, Big Tree Farms, if my dogs weren't a combined weight of like 11 or 12 pounds, I'd probably do the same thing. But they're so small that, especially if it's in flour, well, no, they don't like to. They just get them. Well, they do. They love it, but it fucks them up. It gets them very baked. DJ Drew 24V. When we flush, we're not removing nutrients per se. When we're feeding, we're removing salts. The salts are what makes your shit dark and gross. So we're not actually trying to remove newts in many senses. In many senses, we're trying to scrub the salts that are left within the plant and the soil and root medium, my friend. Ooh, it's fucking chilly out. I think we even got a little smidge of snow. It's going to be gone in 2 seconds, but I think it snowed for about 30 seconds. Yeah, see, Big Tree Farms, I want a big dog, but our house isn't very big, so it's not really fair to the dog for us to have a big dog. One day, my wife has said, I'm allowed to get my big dog when we have a bigger place. My dream dog is I would love if I could find a breeder who could breed such a thing or does breed this breed. I don't even know if it exists, but I would love to have a Labrador, not a lab, by the way, everyone, a Labrador from Newfoundland, fishing dog, fucking size of a small black bear, and then have that crossed with a Tibetan Bull Mastiff. I don't know if any of you have seen a Tibetan Bull Mastiff, but well, holy shit. Tibetan Bull Mastiffs are... I love how some of the smallest people in the world bred one of the largest, scariest looking dogs ever. They're insane. So I can only imagine what a Tibetan Bull Mastiff crossed with a Labrador would be. The Labrador is a huge dog too. It was bred by Newfoundlanders to be a fearless, loving, super intelligent dog. The dog that you take out on the boat when you're going fishing. You're out in the open ocean, it's fucking crazy and it's all fucked and shit. And then the Labrador is the fucker that's been bred to jump into the ocean to come save your ass and drag you back to the boat and be able to handle the fucking elements, you know what I'm saying? So, hashtag boom. I just realized Adam Squatch has not been on this entire live stream. Watch him not tune in for any of it, and then he's going to be like, oh my god, I missed one! Ah! It'll be funny.
Don't worry, Adam. This is why you are allowed to watch it back. And then that is when you'll discover this message to you. You were hearing it, I'm sure, Adam.
Richard S., we will eventually, again, when it comes to the clothing line, we will be doing more than that. I'll be honest, purely a fiscal thing. The money isn't there to release new products like that currently, but there's a lot of exciting things that are happening right now that if any of them work out, there will be. Can't really talk too much about it. One of them you already know, it's the television show. The two different television shows that we're working on right now. But there's a couple of exciting business meetings for pot squash growers coming up this week. We will not get into it right now because it's very early on. Let's just say in the last couple of days, two different groups of people we're very much interested in talking to have reached out to us. So we've got some meetings coming up with them. The first one being tomorrow. The next one will be next Tuesday. So here's hoping. I know that's very random and says fuck all to you about what I'm talking about, but at the end of the day, fingers crossed. William Johnson, when it comes to the sort of the notification settings, I almost have a feeling that they don't notify because we're a pot channel, or they're intermittent with their notifications when it comes to pot channels. I would be shocked if that happened, so. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. What's wrong, Neil Bushnell? What's wrong, my friend? What's your question? Is that a hands up? Yes. What's up, Neil? Are you all right? Oh, I know, Frankie boy. We've been wrongfully hit with a warning. We appealed it and had that refused. And then I had my lawyers go over YouTube's community guidelines and watch the videos. And they've guaranteed me, and their legal opinion, we have in no way infringed on their community guidelines. Yet they refused the appeal. Or rejected, I guess you could say. So.
Welcome to 2020 and welcome to the fan jam of the Pot Squash Growers Army, my friend Jason Cunningham. Where doth ye hail from, our new friend Jason? Where doth ye hail from? My phone's being stupid. There we go, it's working again.
Yeah, William Johnson, I'm a big believer that something wonky, as it were, on the back end is going on in terms of those things. But hard to say, hard to know. We're hoping we survive the cullings as long as we can. We will see. But let's hope for the best, everyone, and just try to keep positive, you know what I'm saying? Now, Nicole, we got to remember, it's a very large corporation that owns all of this, and at the end of the day, there's not a lot we can do if they really decide just to say screw it. We could try, but I think it'd be a lot of waste of time and money because there's no way we can combat that. Well, have a beautiful night, day, or evening, my friend Ben Ruge. Good to see you, and have a good time. Well, Frankie boy, the way I look at it though is I already have labeled all of my channels labeled not for minors, not for kids. I guess, what's the harm in putting it in the description though, right? So maybe we should do that too. Have a good one, Ben. Thanks for stopping by. Girl Scout cookies. How was it for you, my friend? Well, DV, it's not really surprising, though, because it's very common in a lot of these, large banks as well and other things that even though pot is becoming sort of legalized in a lot of ways everywhere and times are changing, the companies aren't keeping up with it. And it's almost kind of getting more conservative and puritanistic as things are changing. We've had our PayPal account, for example, was seized, even though we didn't do anything wrong and we were an incorporated legal company in Canada. They seized it permanently with no legal cause. So unless we go try to sue them, there's nothing we can do. And again, I can't afford those kind of legal fees right now. But it happened. We can't get normal business accounts, traditional banks, or crediting unions in Canada because even though we aren't a cannabis company, we do not sell cannabis. We teach people to grow. We're a media brand. We're an educational brand. We sell hats, t-shirts, rolling papers, garden supply, grow lights, and all these types of things. But we aren't directly a cannabis company. Nothing we're doing is illegal. We are fully legally allowed to do everything we're doing within this country, but because of the branding being, the pot squatch and there's pot leaves on things and all of that, and the association, they've just told us to fuck off, and we can't really do anything about it. We've tried. I think they'd sing a different tune if we showed up with like $10 million or $2 million even in our bank accounts. They're like, so give us a business account. I'll make a $2 million deposit. I don't think they'd say the same thing, but sadly that's not really the nature of our company currently, so there's not much we can do. I can't wait till after the live stream so I can go to war against the few fungus gnats that are currently floating around this fucking room. They are pissing me off wholeheartedly. A trifecta of Blue Dream, ahi tuna kush. I like tuna kush. Pink tuna, also like pink tuna. And just cracked the first Bud Light of the night. All right, Alberta for life. Sound good to me, my friend. Especially, I like Blue Dream, don't get me wrong. But man, tuna kush, pink tuna, yes, I am all over that. Did you know red roots shut the skin like snakes? Or shed their skin like snakes? I'm assuming you meant. No. Interesting though. Nifty. Sounds cool. Yeah, John Boy, you're not wrong. PayPal is, and I already knew that. Like I'd heard that PayPal was extremely conservative. I can't use, I believe it's the Square in Canada, or is it the Stripe? It's another payment platform that I can't use because they're very conservative. It's funny because Shopify keeps calling me and they're like, hey, if you ever want to sell CBD on your store, you can. I said, great. How do I do that? Well, you can, but you're going to have to switch payment providers because a majority of payment providers will not process payment for a CBD product, even if it's a legal licensed thing in your country. And I was like, well, that's just great. Why do you keep emailing me about selling CBD then? Like, fuck. One second here, everybody. Bear with me. John Smith, I believe you asked if I'm going to take acid on this live. No. Sadly, acid doesn't really work on my brain, actually. It doesn't do much. It's odd. Shrooms work. Acid doesn't. No, we're good. You're safe today, my friend. You all good, baby. It's all good. Oh, wonderful, Sweet Pea the Gardener. It's a simple space cake recipe, but it works really well. And fuck, I mean, it packs a wallop. And it's kind of very similar to some of my favorite space cakes in my early teen years in Holland that I had. So it's kind of half brownie, half cake. Fucking awesome, though. Fuck you, fungus gnat. Sorry, everybody. I do not like that. 1 second here. Playing catch up. Yeah, well, a big part of why acid doesn't work in my brain is I think there was a point in my life where acid did work on my brain. To share part of my personal story, if anyone cares for that. When I was younger, I was misdiagnosed as bipolar. Turns out I'm not. Quite high functioning, a little differently wired, but didn't need to be on medication. It was just kind of growing pains as a young person, and just being a little different. Finally had a doctor come along after about 5 years of being on olanzapine, which was an antipsychotic that really fucked with me. It basically took away all my emotions. I went from about 185, 195 pounds up to about 330, 340 in the span of 6 months. Couldn't cry, and I'm an emotional man who's not afraid of tears and not afraid of my heart, my emotions, but it just all went away. And that really messed with me, that stuff. But being the antipsychotic that they use, for example, to treat criminal schizophrenics, and they only use like 5 to 10 milligrams for that. I was on 50 milligrams a day of olanzapine for my supposed bipolar disorder. It is also the exact drug used by many health professionals to counteract acid and other hallucinogenic substances in the brain. So I think the 5 years of heavy misdiagnosed medication I didn't need to actually be on kind of changed my brain a bit. And shrooms work, but even they're different than they were when I was a young kid. And acid doesn't really do much. It's kind of a cool party trick. I can like drop a bunch of hits of acid and nothing happens. But yeah, it's weird. Just so that's kind of my theory on that one. My best guess, anyway, medically speaking. Right, the Z-Man, that would actually be a cool idea. That's one thing I do want to do this grow too. Because it's not looking like we're going to get a heavy freeze that kills all the bugs outside of my house and in the forest around me off. So part of me would love to do a bunch of companion plants. So, you know what, and that's some videos I think I'd like doing. That'd be some fun how-to videos talking about companion plants. So we're going to work on that. And just for you, the Z-Man, I will do some Venus flytraps.
Excuse me.
Now, Frankie boy, do you think it's having ADHD where they don't work on you, or the medications from ADHD that you may or may not be on that has part of that? 1 second here. Bear with me, everybody. How's it going, Jake? Hey, Mike, baby. I agree. I've got lots of DE, and I'm going to put them down, DJ Drew. You got to remember, diatomaceous earth, it does a couple of things. One, it will, if dry, deter, or even if it gets wet and becomes this clay on top, it will help to deter the propagation of adults coming to land, sort of eggs in there. But the biggest benefit of DE when using it for fungus gnats is it's not attacking the adults as much. It is actually attacking the larval state of the fungus gnat. So when that little baby larva fungus gnat has to come out like, oh yeah, and then it goes into the DE, it's like razor blades, cuts the motherfucker apart, cuts it, kills it, die fungus gnat, bitch, sorry, and it kills it, and it goes for the children, because that's the best way to attack, because you got to remember the next generation, man, that's the the one that counts. By and large, adults, other than laying eggs, fucking don't matter as much. That's why also too, so sort of digging up the tops of your soils is a great thing to do that we talked about in the video. You can put some sand down. I like to put a little bit of layer of DE down first, then put some sand down, mix a little bit of DE maybe into even the sand, and then put another little layer on top. Do super hydration before you do any of this, so you can kind of let them sit for a while, and that'll also be beneficial. Hey, much love, Rock Pile Tanks. Keep it real and keep it sexy. Thank you for tuning into the show tonight, my friend. John Boy, I have always wanted to try nematodes. Always really wanted to try them. Never have. Came close a few times to buying them, but never got around to it. But you know what? Maybe I should try it now. Because I'm getting pretty pissed off with these motherfuckers, man. To be fair, I mean, I'm busy, so I don't, I haven't done DE yet. I haven't done any of these other tricks to try to help. I've been staying on top of them. Jake's a little bit, doing this and that. But yeah, let's try some nematodes, baby. I gotta look into that. Neil, because I have a personal ACMPR medical production license. I am entitled legally to grow 49 plants as a Canadian in Canada. I am a medical patient, cancer survivor, and chronic pain patient who actually qualifies for disability, but, let me smoke my weed and we can keep the disability for the people who really need it, and I'll keep working, so. Richard S., it's already been pressed. And we will not be posting really a lot of rosin press videos or keef making videos right now because they have been getting targeted on our channel and other channels by YouTube for some reason. I think it has to do with the extract nature of it, and that's how they're justifying that. We will be releasing new rosin videos, just not on the YouTube platform. When we do figure out where they're going to go, we'll let you know. Hell yeah, Brad Reed. I've had my ACMPR for years. I had my MMARP from back in the hood days, but then I moved to Europe and let it expire. And then when I moved back a couple of years later, it was the ACMPR program now. Wish I kept that old MMARP valid because it was a better license than the current one. No, DJ Drew, I just leave my DE on the top. If you're worried about breathability and all that, just, think about how we used to aerate the fields when we were kids. And those little shit pellets in the grass, and you just throw them at each other. Just poke some holes, man. Poke some breathing holes through the DE clay that will form after doing that top dressing of the DE. You can take it off if you want. I personally leave it. My stuff. I've never had any issues with doing that, so. No, Frankie boy, WeTube has a lot of issues. It's a nice premise. Its uploading function barely works. It is not conducive to cell phone platforms. There are no live streams. There's a lot of issues with WeTube. That's actually, we're probably moving ahead and making our own. Because WeTube, we've been trying to reach them, and they're not getting back to us. Their platform's not ready for the grand convergence that's eventually going to happen. So we're looking into starting our own platform for those kicked off of YouTube for the people. So we will see if that can come to fruition. One of the many things we've got on the agenda that we're currently working on. I'm not really cared about Subcool or anyone's opinion on what I do, to be honest. I do my own thing. And we did use PayPal until we had everything seized. We lost money, and we might get it back in 6 months. We'll see. But at the end of the day, it was an option for us to actually, we did over 60% of our store's payment for everything was done through PayPal. So it has been a big hit to our ability to be a functioning company right now, not being able to do that. Right now, we're only really able to process credit cards. I am looking at other options, but I'm wary because a lot of conservative companies are out there. The good thing is I have heard tale from a few friends about some weed banks that now exist that probably will grant us the business accounts, which will hopefully help things. So I am working on fixing that, but again, our options are limited. It sucks, but hey, we were trying, and PayPal decided to be a complete dick and take our stuff. So, did it make you feel good? PayPal, did you enjoy that? Dicks. Oh, milk bone cookies is good. 1 second here. Nope. Sorry, phone's being weird. Huh. I don't know, Jason Poole. To be fair, Bodark apples or Osage orange, never heard of. Are these actual fruits you're talking about? And are they like a companion plant, or I'm just curious. Okay, dude, John Boy, thanks. I'll check those out, eh? So Nema Glow Pot Popper on Amazon. I'll write that down in a minute. But that's good to know. Thank you, John, because I have really wanted to try them for quite some time. Neil, I'm putting you on a timeout because you keep saying messages and then retracting them. Bad boy or girl. Whatever you call yourself, whatever you identify as. Paul Squatch, you're on a timeout. You'll be back in, I think, a couple of minutes. I think that's how it works. Not mad at you, just it's kind of annoying when I'm trying to read everyone's messages, okay? Okay. Love you, though. My lights were on 24 hours, plus I have a few weeks left in flour. Any harm? No, but LM, anytime that stuff like that happens, watch for herming. That's going to be your number one thing to look out for because that could trigger some nanners to come. And, it's a limited time week, so really it's not going to do too much, but you don't want a nanner releasing a bunch of pollen into your room, so just stay on top of watching for him and you know what I'm saying? What's up, 9G007? Alright, let's go back here. Trees with softball-sized balls. Damn! How does the government determine how many plants you are allowed to grow? Richard S. in Canada, for our ACMPR program, it is all based off of a daily prescription. So my first prescription for years was 5 grams a day. Wasn't really quite cutting it, especially when I started making rosins and oils and stuff. So I went back to my doctor and I talked to her about it, and so she agreed that, yeah, right thing to do would be to increase the prescription to 10 grams daily. Typically, it's about 5 plants to a gram for daily consumption under the ACMPR. When it starts going up, they do reduce it. So, like, for example, I'm a 10 grams, so it's not 50, it's 49, if that makes sense. But when I held a 5 plant license, it was 25. So I hope that helps answer the question there. Hey, hell yeah, dang doof, growing adventures. Have a good time, my friend, and keep it sexy and have a good time. What's up, Big Daddy? How you doing, my friend? I think Mrs. Potsquatch, when she gets back, is doing like a kind of a spaghetti squash casserole type thing. And I told her I need some dead animals, so I think she's gonna buy me some, like, you know, strips of beef or steak or some saute beef or something like that we can fry up, so I can have some dead animals on there. You know, it's, I never ate a lot of spaghetti squash a lot of the years, but the wife's kind of gotten into making it sometimes, and, you know, it's not fucking bad. Some of these recipes, and then she has this other dish where, like, she uses, because she's not a vegetarian, but, you know, she doesn't eat a shitload of meat, and she loves vegetarian and vegan stuff, and, she did this one vegetarian dish one time, though, where it was like she used, like, eggplant and made her own scratch tomato sauce, or I think it was the sauce that I made, that she made these kind of like cannoli almost type things, but out of eggplant. It was really good, though. Surprisingly good. Hell yeah, it was cool actually, Big Daddy. A lot of people earlier on were on, and they were like, "Yo," a bunch of people were on, like, "I just got mine. I just got mine. Yeah, I just got mine too." And super also having fun with their lights, and it's a nice feeling when people are receiving their lights and enjoying using them. Sandy, who was on earlier, they may or may not still be hers. Oh, I love Italian sausage in spaghetti as well, Bigger. But they were like, "It's my first ever grow light. I never bought one." And then I looked around at my other options and actually learned a bit about what I bought from you and realized who and what this is. That's amazing, and thank you so much. I'm so happy that I ended up deciding to go with your light for my first ever light. I'm sitting here going like, I don't think I've been anyone's first ever. I think that's our first being the first for someone. You know, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Yo, Kev T, I'm doing well. How you doing, my friend? Of Jan, Big Daddy. And I believe I answered it, but I'm doing well, Kev T. How are you doing, my friend? Don't have a lighter, and I left the damn torch. Arg! Silly me. Yeah, I probably left it out in the living room. Ah, shit. Nice one, Big Daddy. I'm assuming, I think I remember anyway. I believe you went with the 35 as well. Oh, let's try that again. There was a weird smudge on the lens, so I misread your name. DJ Drew, 3500 Calvin color is the way to go in my humble 2 cents. It is my preferred happy place of Calvin color spectrum, but it's also been proven to be the most effective spectrum in terms of both yield and quality of product. A lot of research has been coming out from a lot of other people testing out Calvin colors, and like 3500 is proving to be this super magical place in terms of stuff. So I'm a big fan of the 3500. I don't know where Adam Squatch is. He's being a bad boy, not here.
Awesome. Big Daddy 3700 is basically the same as the 35. It's another way to have the sort of the duplicity of both veg and flour. The 2700, 5700 split coming out to the 37 is a nice way to rock and roll too. I just like the 35. That's just me, baby. You know what I'm saying? They're very similar in basic premise of what they do. So 3700 or the dually split 37x3 operating on 34 volts is a great option. Oh, wait, I shouldn't turn the torch on. I don't even have my cigar yet. Oh, no worries, DJ Drew. As everyone can see, the Mike the Safe Ride Squatch has posted the link to the website to get your very own Squatch lighting system. 1 second, everyone. I'm trying to find my cigar. There it is. I found it. I found it, everybody. Oh, yeah. No, it was funny, Neil. The first time I used some humic acid with some DE, it was a weird experience. Shrooms, what? What, Kev T? I'm not on shrooms now, no. Have a wonderful day at work, Big Daddy. Thank you for popping into the show. It was great to see you, my friend. We're just in the washroom right now. Got the exhaust fan going. The wife has also been sort of slowly working on doing a reno in here, so she's been slowly redoing the walls and fixing things and making it her own. She's been redoing the roof and making it all trippy, and then she's going to be doing a new, brand new like vanity in here. And then she's going to be doing she wants to do a penny floor. She's all excited. She had her epoxy show up the other day and was all stoked. So, be a good time. Oh, don't worry, Kev T. One day I'm sure we can arrange a formal night of watching me be silly again. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had fun too. I'm glad you did as well. If everyone can see, Mike the Safer Ride Squatch is sharing potsquatchgrowers.com. That's where you go to get all your hats, t-shirts, rolling papers, jigsaw, and hopefully soon more and more items for your garden usage and growing of agricultural type plants. Max Wilder, it was kind of a calculated option. I wanted to have fun. Then Adam had a bit of a freak out. He's like, it's gonna be this. And I'm like, it's fine, Adam. And then I was kind of thinking about it after I talked to Adam. And I was like, no, let's be infamous. Some people, we had a huge amount of people watch. We had over 8 days of total watch time on the show. And I was like, no, we'll just delete it. We'll see what everyone says and see what happens. Wake up the next morning, address it, and then we can watch some hockey. Okay, good. I'm all caught up now. And as everyone has seen, the link that Mike has just shared, if you'd like to be part of the Facebook group, one of the great things about the Facebook group and community is it's a place for all of us, because I'm often busy doing some stuff and I'm not necessarily available at all the time. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, there's many knowledgeable people in our community, so it's a great place for anyone who wants to ask some help or ask some questions or just have a good time, post some memes or have a joke or have a good time. We will just reiterate, everyone, please treat each other with respect in the community. If you do have an issue with each other, it's not my place to tell you to like everyone, but please show each other respect. If you have an issue, talk in private, not through public comments, or at the end of the day, call me or one of the other mods or admins, right? And then we got your back, and we'll help to try to mitigate or mediate or blah, 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 the whole scenario. But at the end of the day, it's real. To be honest with you, DJ Drew, often the wife's pretty good about the live streams and stuff.
I think overall, at the end of the day, like, if I was just sitting on here talking all the time and we weren't doing what we're doing, yeah, she might sing a different song. But she knows that I'm working really hard because I love the community. She loves community as well, and we love what we're doing and trying to help people and help what we're doing and stuff. So I don't think, she's normally pretty good about it. I definitely pay attention to that occasionally. I need to give the wife some more attention, so I try to do this, Oh, well, thank you, Kev T. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me, my friend. I really do appreciate that. I feel Big Mac creates. I didn't personally have an issue with it either. I mean, I got a little bit real maybe for some people, and I think some people were just concerned and worried. But, just having fun. I'm usually a little bit more in control than maybe people, realize. Hell yeah, William Johnson. Nice one. What are you going to be cloning? Nice. What are you rolling the doobie? What's your question, Max? I just saw a question mark. That's it. I know. Where is LM? Are you got it, Tiga? Happy spouse, happy house. Luckily, I live in a house where that is saying it's not happy wife, happy life. So, she takes care of me too. It's really nice. Well, to be honest with you, everybody, I think I might sign off from this show right now. It has been a wonderful, amazing show with all of you tonight, and I've appreciated it. What we're going to do is, on some nights when I have the energy or I'm feeling up to it, we are going to open up the lines after the show. So anyone who wants to have a quick video call or a quick call from the Pod Squatch, you are absolutely welcome to. Probably the easiest way to contact me right now after the show is either through our Instagram, Pod Squatch Growers, on Instagram, or contact us via the group, or make a group post saying call me. I'll contact you through the Facebook Messenger. So I'll be available probably for the next 30 minutes to an hour or so to that, if anyone would like that. And if not, don't feel bad. Just making the offer just in case anyone wants to. Just know that Uncle Pod Squatch loves you. There's a lot of exciting things continuing to come and develop. A lot of it I can't really talk about much yet, but just know it will be coming. We're only, what's the date? 8 days into 2020, so we'll be all right. Are those cinnamon sticks above my head? No, just a painted roof that my wife is working on. But anyway, everybody, I love you. Good evening to you, Fred Fury. We're just ending the show, but if anyone here would like a call from Uncle Pod Squatch, that is available. Message me via Facebook, through the group, or on our Instagram, and we'll give you a shout. Anyway, everybody, remember that tree grower is a forever student. Don't be afraid to take risks, but make educated, stupid decisions. Don't be an asshole, be an asshat. Or don't be an asshat, be an asshole. Either way, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself, protecting yourself, but protect those around you, even if you don't understand. What's up, bro? Ho, grow. We're actually just ending the show. But if anyone wants to have a private, personal conversation with me right now, that is available, like I said, through Instagram or Facebook. Keep it real, baby. Keep it sexy. Send me a message, like I said, through Facebook or Insta if you want a quick show. All right, everybody. Peace out. Love you.